and delayed some of Milwaukee's absentee results by roughly 90 minutes. Maxey says there's no evidence results were compromised, but says if Milwaukee Election Commission Executive Director Paulina Gutierrez cannot correct reoccurring mistakes, she should resign. The general election is November 3rd. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Milwaukee Brewers pitcher Jacob Mizorowski opening up about growing up with dyslexia at an upcoming event at American Family Field.
Mizorowski was diagnosed with dyslexia in second grade and says he wants to talk openly about his experience. Linda Welsh with Sharp Literacy tells WTMJ his story is a perfect fit for the organization's mission.
When you think about Sharp's mission and you think about what we do for our kids and the impact that we have, it's all on those essential skills, critical thinking skills, teamwork, perseverance, never giving up. So what a perfect role model we have with the Miz.
The event is September 10th at American Family Field with VIP reception on the field before Mizorowski takes questions from students and attendees. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
Today, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is expected to announce new sanctions the U.S. is leveling at Iran and countries that do business with Iran, including some U.S. allies in the region. News Nation's Libby Dean.
I am told by a source familiar with this announcement that we're going to hear from the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent that he's set to announce the U.S. Treasury is going to broaden secondary sanctions on Iran. They're also going to target countries also that continue to do any business with Iran. The source described this as a, quote, final warning to those countries to basically either cut their business ties with Iran specifically or risk facing these U.S. sanctions. Now, the idea here is really to squeeze Iran by squeezing the network around it. That's what Treasury is going for.
The Iran war is now in its 178th day.
And Canada and the United States are now at a trade war. Canadian officials pushing back on new tariffs that are now imposed on Canadian imports into the United States.
50% tariff on Canadian goods coming into the United States. The White House, though, this morning, even as the president is digging in and now announcing the potential of new tariffs that he says would not go into effect until January 1st. Unclear why he would wait so long for that. We, of course, have asked the White House. But they're also downplaying the potential impact on American consumers and the American economy.
ABC's Karen Travers. Canada has set September 8th as the start of its retaliatory penalties. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Some mixed results this afternoon. Dow is up about 110 points at 53,390. NASDAQ off about 125 at 26,053. And the S&P 500 down about 15 points at 7657. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
It is almost time to trim the roster. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:04.
Heart disease won't stop us. Diabetes won't slow us down. Allergies, high blood pressure, shoulder pain, cancer. Nothing will keep us from pushing Wisconsin ahead. Because with the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, forward progress is what we stand for. That means always pushing and always innovating. With new technologies and breakthrough treatments that make life better, whether we're sick or well. It means providing more convenience and more ways to receive medical excellence for all your health needs, for big and small. It means being there for you, our family, caring for yours. So let's keep raising the bar. Let's keep testing the limits of what medicine can do. Let's push ahead and make life here as great as it can be. Visit Freighter.com to find out how.
Hi, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Most contractors cut corners and disappear when there's a problem. Not us. Since 1997, we've completed over 60,000 projects, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and were named 2025 Roofing Magazine Contractor of the Year. We set the standard for exterior remodeling. Trusted by homeowners, proven every single day. We're excited to show you why choosing Infinity means peace of mind. Visit infinityexteriors.com to see why your neighbors trust Infinity.
Welcome back to Ask Hassles.
Are your employee-free Hassles showrooms some kind of big viral prank?
We simply let you try our selection of Beauty Rest, Sealy Posturepedic, and more without commission-crazy salespeople breathing down your neck.
Sure you do.
And through Monday, get a free adjustable base with the purchase of a select Sealy Posturepedic or Beauty Rest mattress, plus free next-day delivery.
So shopping at Hassles won't make me TikTok famous?
Absolutely not.
Darn.
Find an employee-free showroom near you at hassles.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Packers take on the Cardinals this week. In the preseason finale, the teams will meet at Ray-Nitschke Field for joint practices in advance of that game. The Cardinals are led by first-year head coach Mike LaFleur, brother of Matt.
Yeah, he's quick to criticize everything that I put on the schedule. So he's like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? We never do this. And I was like, all right, Mike, you got all the answers. So no, it's been healthy. It's been good. So there's been give and take on both sides for sure.
Packers must trim the roster to 53 by 3 o'clock the afternoon of August 30th. Brewers with a day off today after taking 2 of 3 against the first-place Braves. Milwaukee begins today with a 6-game lead over the Cubs for first place in the NL Central. Brewers begin a 3-game series against the Mets Tuesday night.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Not doing too bad, but we do have one crash. It's in Milwaukee County. It's been out there for a little bit yet. About 40 minutes now it's going on. 41 894 south at the ramp from Greenfield Avenue. Left shoulder is blocked. I do see that there's an emergency responder out there with lights on, but it looks like traffic is moving freely around this, so that's great news. One crash in Milwaukee County, 41 894 south at the ramp from Greenfield Avenue.
Save now during the Ken Michaels Furniture Labor Day sale. Ken Michaels Furniture, where you can enjoy unprecedented saving on better quality furniture and mattresses during their factory-sponsored Labor Day sale. Stop in today and save.
Beautiful day today. Sunny and mild, high 75 degrees. Clear tonight, low 58. Tuesday, a little bit of a warm-up. Slight chance for some evening rain. High of 80 degrees. Chance of showers increases on Wednesday. So does the high temperature, up to 86 degrees. Sun returns on Thursday, high 80. Sunny on Friday with a high of 77. It's 74 degrees right now. Sunny in Milwaukee at 12:08.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
August 24th, 2026, for all you check writers out there, otherwise known as Gina's birthday.
Woohoo!
Look at that. How old are you now, Gina? Are we not supposed to ask that? 17?
I can say 28 until 30, then I stop answering.
Oh,
okay. Well,
no,
good.
30's fun, Gina, I tell you.
Still got plenty of time. You're kind of in the dead zone, though. You're between 25 and 30. Now it's like, I'm paying my own insurance. Like, I really have to kind of be on my own. And you're just sort of waiting for that next milestone. Now's about the time, Gina, and I guess maybe till you hit 30, where you kind of forget the answer to, wait, how old am I? You don't remember exactly. I kind of lost count when I was, 27, 28.
Really?
Yeah.
That young?
Well, then I remembered at 30, and then I lost track again until I was 40.
30 is really fun, Gina. You have a lot to look forward to, and she is fresh and vibrant, and she is extra caffeinated today because it's her birthday.
No doubt about that.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Secretary of War Pete Hegseth comes to Wisconsin today. The Pentagon's top official will visit Oshkosh Corporation as part of his nationwide Arsenal of Freedom tour. Hegseth is expected to speak with company leaders and workers about the role American manufacturing plays in national security. We're told this is the message. The U.S. needs to rebuild its defense industrial base by cutting red tape, speeding up acquisition, and encouraging more innovation from commercial manufacturers. The Oshkosh visit comes as the company continues producing specialized vehicles and equipment for the U.S. military. Hegseth says the nation's military strength and global peace depends on the ability of the American workforce to deliver.
A Wisconsin community in mourning today. A very tight-knit town, Alma Center. Population roughly 500 in Jackson County, not too far from Eau Claire. Currently mourning the tragic death of football player Adam Massman. He was about to be a senior in the school district. Plays football, plays for Alma Center Lincoln High School. He passed away August 22nd from injuries sustained during the first game of their season. On-site emergency medical technicians treated Massman at the field before he was rushed to a nearby hospital, and he later died. They've not yet begun the school year. They'll begin on September 1st, but the district is opening its junior and senior high school buildings today to provide grief counseling services for students, staff, and community members. And to say his family was involved in the school district is an understatement. Massman's mother, Brianne, is an elementary school counselor. One of Adam's siblings attends Lincoln Junior High School. His aunt and uncle both teach at elementary school in Lincoln. And his uncle, Sam Prindle, serves on the Lincoln School Board. There's still a lot of questions here. I did reach out to the superintendent of schools here to see if there's anything we can dispel, any myths that have appeared on social media with regard to Adam's passing. Still working on to get some clarification there, relaying what we know at this point. But a community in mourning here in a small, very tight-knit town, Alma Center.
Such a tragedy. Well, think about this. The next time you drive by a trucker, a nationwide parking shortage is leaving truck drivers searching for safe places to stop. News Nation's Xavier Walton reports.
Right now, there are more than 3.5 million truck drivers crossing state lines daily, but DOT says there are only roughly about 311,000 spots to legally pull over and get some rest. That's only one parking spot to every 11 drivers nationwide. Drivers waste more than $100 billion a year in fuel, time, and productivity searching for parking. And the DOT says 7 out of 10 drivers are breaking laws just to find a safe space to pull over, and it's costing these hardworking families nearly $7,000 a year.
But hold up. Now, there's an app for that. There's a new app called Truck Parking Club, and it's pairing truckers with owners of more than 40,000 open parking spaces. So it's a problem, wow. But now you have an app that's at least trying to help a little bit.
Interesting solution here. It's 12:13 on WTMJ. Just getting started here. Coming up next, would you ever turn down a promotion? What circumstances would lead you to do it? A growing number of people are saying no to the better salary and more responsibilities. We'll check in with Tim Sheehy, senior advisor to the MMAC, right after this.
Just doing some roofing on another lovely Wisconsin day. No gimmicks, no shortcuts, no. It's just roofing done the old-fashioned way. Do you need shingles? Let's mingle. For a Wisconsin tradition never dwindles. So raise a glass, shake a hand for this old-fashioned brand. Whoop, that's old-fashioned roofing.
Day after day, year after year, the heavy lifting, the repetitive motion, and now your body feels it. Your back, your knees, your quality of life.
At Pivot Work Injury Law, we stand up for those worn down by work.
Workers' comp is our sole focus, and we've recovered more than $50 million for Wisconsin workers. From sudden accidents to pain that builds over years of hard work, we're dedicated to fighting for the benefits you're entitled to. If you've been worn down by work, contact Pivot Work Injury Law today for a risk-free consultation. Visit pivotworkinjurylaw.com.
Looking to build or remodel? Then don't miss the 80th MBA Parade of Homes presented by Nuns. Explore 17 extraordinary homes in 2 locations, Quietwood in Menominee Falls and the Snyder Farm in Oconomowoc. Each home showcases premium craftsmanship and design shaped for the way you want to live. Walk through spaces that spark ideas, elevate expectations, and inspire your next chapter. The parade runs August 15th through September 7th. For tickets and locations, visit mbaparadeofhomes.com.
You know who Forbes is the #1 bank in Wisconsin? Horicon Bank. Hello, I'm Eric Weissman. Thank you to our customers for helping Horicon Bank earn this recognition. From everyday banking, mortgage lending, trust administration, 55 or better Gliders Club, and My Money for Kids, Horicon Bank has solutions for every stage of life. And let's not forget about our incredible business banking team. I personally invite you to learn more about Horicon Bank at horiconbank.com or stop by one of our branches today.
Horicon Bank MLS 434805, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Beautiful day today. Humidity on the low side here. A lot of sun. Maybe just a few clouds here. High 76 degrees. Winds light and variable. Beautiful night. Clear skies tonight at a low of 56. Tuesday, a little bit of a warm-up. High of 82. Better chance of rain on Wednesday. Some thunderstorms are possible with a high of 86. So with the increased temperatures comes an increased risk of rain and storms. Thursday, sun returns. High 82. Friday's high 80 degrees. Saturday, looking ahead here, start of the weekend, looking at a high of 80. It is currently 75 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee, approaching 12:16. And our economic spotlight is presented by Horicon Bank. Together, doing good. It's horiconbank.com. Truly the natural choice, and a member FDIC. Always good to check in with MMAC Senior Advisor Tim Sheehy on a Monday. Hi, Tim.
Hey, good to be with you.
Hey, thanks for joining us here. Hey, so we all work hard for that promotion, Tim, right? And then the boss comes in and says, where are your goals? Where do you want to be? If we moved you to this, how would you feel? Little pay increase. And some people are saying, no, I kind of like it what I'm doing. A new study identifies what people would do if they were offered a promotion, and increasingly, more and more are turning them down. Why?
Yeah, the reasons are not as surprising to me as the number of people who say they would turn down a promotion. So the reasons make a lot of sense, right? If I have to respond to messages on the evenings or on weekends, no thank you. If it conflicts with my vacation, no thank you. And I don't want it to impact my work-life balance. So all those make good reasons for potentially turning down a promotion. What surprised me were the number of people who would say no. Almost 60% would say no if it meant they had to be available after hours. 62% said no if it impacts my work-life balance. And then more than half the people have reflected by saying, well, I've seen other people take a promotion and they don't seem very happy. So no, thank you.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of attitudes shifted during and after the pandemic, without a doubt. But before that, you had a lot of people saying, how high can I climb? How far can I go in my career? And now you have a lot of people saying, how much of my life am I willing to give to my job? But my concern here is, if people don't want management jobs, who is going to lead these companies in the future?
No, it's a great question. And I think you're spot on with kind of the impact that the pandemic had and giving more people a taste of remote work, not being in an office setting. And to that point, the survey said that between people between the ages of 18 and 34, 71% of them were more likely to turn down a promotion, and 65% of those really didn't want to manage people. And so the pandemic, the remote work has certainly had an impact on that. But you also raise a good question is, where is the future leadership coming? So very interesting to see. And I think it really puts the emphasis on companies needing to develop people, explain what goes on in the promotion. And then probably the most important thing is mentoring, getting people to feel comfortable about taking the promotion, what it's going to entail, and how they can manage that work-life balance.
Tim, we've had discussions on previous programs about what the top priorities are now for modern job seekers, and the word flexibility constantly pops up. In fact, it sometimes ranks as high as salary because it does protect that work-life balance. I guess this is kind of a direct reflection of those conversations we've had.
Yeah, very, very much so. And, it makes me feel like a bit like a Neanderthal in terms of, my career, but I also get it. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing if people are more sensitive to and more focused on their work-life balance. And money isn't everything. And so maybe flexibility is becoming as important or more important than money.
To a lot of people, it is, for sure. We're talking with Tim Sheehy, Senior Advisor to the MMAC. Tim, after a record year of college enrollment in 2025, many universities are facing the challenge of fewer students. What does that mean for our local schools? We're thinking about Madison, of course, but also Marquette and UWM.
Yeah, really good question. And I think there are two things at play here. The first is demographics, right? 2025 was kind of peak enrollment in terms of the number of kids 18 applying for college. And between 2025 and 2041, we're going to see a 13% drop in college-age students. But it's driving two dynamics. One is a flight to quality. So those schools that are viewed as top-notch are seeing their applications go up and their admittance rate go down. For example, Ivy League schools admitting in the past about 25% of applicants has dropped to 5%. Top public universities application or admittance rates have gone from 50 to 20%. The other is cost benefit, right? Is the college degree and the debt I might incur worth the benefit in terms of how it's going to pay off for my career and my jobs? And so those two things are at work while we're seeing a declining number of students that will enroll in college. So good question. What does it mean for the schools in our region, UWM, Marquette, and Madison as examples? Let's just take Madison quickly. In 2009, some 57% of people that applied to Madison got in. That's dropped to 41%. UWM, while it's lost over time about 4,000 students, is holding its own. Marquette is holding its own. MSOE has grown a little bit. So those schools combined seem to be doing a good job, not only with the demographic decline, but also managing the applications.
You're talking about the cost benefit here, Tim. And UW, the system will still tout its state system as one of the great values here, especially considered against states in the Midwest. As an outsider, but somebody who had a son go to UW-Madison, do you feel like that's an accurate statement? Is the UW system, by and large, a value, comparatively speaking?
Yeah, I think it is very much so. And to that point, the legislature, I think a couple years ago, and I think it's just starting to take effect maybe now or last year, that if you're in the top 5% of your high school class, you're automatically admitted to UW-Madison. And so I think that's helped the balance a little bit. 56% of the state students in state now get in, and we're seeing more outstate students come to Madison, which would speak to the value proposition. Quality education at a relatively lower price point. So I think UW is doing a good job in that pitch that there's a benefit to the cost of going to the UW system, but that's going to be increasingly challenged.
Tim, I want to make sure we get to this, too, because it's one of my favorite spots in downtown Milwaukee, without a doubt. The Milwaukee Art Museum, the Calatrava, the addition there is celebrating its 25th anniversary. I'm looking at the museum's webpage right now, and it looks like starting on Thursday, they're going to have this year-long celebration full of events. But I'm just thinking about the visual for Milwaukee. How much of a game changer has this been for us?
Yeah, it has been, and I will use a current vernacular in terms of, college athletics now, the name, image, and likeness. And I think very much so 25 years ago and true today that the Milwaukee Art Museum, the Calatrava edition, is very much an NIL for Milwaukee. It's put the name of the museum on the map. It's put Milwaukee on the map. The image is phenomenal, and the likeness very much speaks to Milwaukee in terms of the engineering that was done here locally to make the wings work, which were actually flown in from Spain. So it's very much carried a new moniker for Milwaukee. And the other thing that I find amazing, looking back 25 years, when this started out, the initial projection was this is an $8 to $10 million expansion. Having everything said and done, it fell into more of the $120 to $130 million range, all raised privately. So it speaks to Milwaukee's philanthropy, and it speaks to a vision that carries this image globally for Milwaukee.
It's the shot. It is the shot that appears in all shots, right? Yeah. I mean, you have commercials being filmed. I mean, national car dealerships and car brands doing their commercials at the Calatrava. Every time I look at it, it does not look dated, right? I spent a lot of time at County Stadium. That looked dated, but nothing about this looks dated 25 years later.
No, and in fact, I think at one point it made it into the movie Transformers. So it has not only been a cultural icon, but as you said, an icon that people have shopped for movies and cars and other types of things. And I do by and large think that the museum has to focus on the maintenance and the upkeep. We don't want that to look worn, and I think they've done a great job to date, making it look almost as new as it did 25 years ago.
It was a bold idea then. We only have about a minute here, but Tim, is there something that you could think of right now for Milwaukee to have its next bold idea, something that our city should be thinking about?
Yeah, from a visual perspective, I think it's just keeping the economy going so the downtown, as one example, stays vibrant, that, we take care of our neighborhoods. I don't know that I see like a signature project that everybody's going to go, ooh, we need that. I think really it is, keeping the Calatrava up. We've got a new place for an NBA team to play. We've got a new baseball arena. Actually, it's not that new, but one that now has the investment going to keep it updated. So I think it's really keeping Milwaukee advancing and keeping the quality and the look of the city moving forward.
Always great information. MMAC Senior Advisor Tim Sheehy here on Wisconsin's Midday News. Thank you, Tim.
Appreciate it, Tim.
You bet.
It makes a great point about the Calatrava, but I think back to the domes, right? The domes were kind of like, whoa, what is that? That is so unique and interesting.
True.
And I don't think it got the national appeal that the Calatrava did, but the domes became dated. And they became kind of a situation.
They started leaking.
Well, that was a problem, yes, and it kind of started falling apart, and here we are trying to save them. You never want to get to that point with the Calatrava, the art museum. It just become a cultural icon in a structure here in the city of Milwaukee. So you can't let it fall out of favor, but I don't know that it will. Seems like they got a good plan in place.
It is beautiful. And every once in a while you see somebody climbing up that ladder to get up there and make sure that the wings are just right and that everything is clean, keeping it the way it should be.
1227 news coming up.
Trying to keep up with the 21st century can really get you down.
When you need a break, come to Kessler's.
We'll turn your day around.
We have good air conditioning.
And we love making new friends.
The coffee's better than average.
Because we want you to come back again.
We want to be your jeweler.
My father told you for 29 years that he wanted to be your jeweler.
He put that desire in everyone he hired.
And then he gave us the company.
He transformed our lives and gave us the most fun job on earth.
It's easy to sell jewelry when you sell it for less than it's worth.
Come and take a look at our engagement rings.
And of course, we have thousands of other things.
When you're having an overcast day, come to Kessler's.
We're going to turn your day around.
Free jewelry cleaning done by world-class professionals.
While you drink your good coffee in a room full of diamonds and gold.
Makes you feel better, no matter what you've been told.
One thing you definitely want to see before you're done
is our exclusive Kessler 81.
To find the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Founded by inventors, fueled by community, focused on business. What a wonderful story. The story of Horicon Bank. Founded here in the state of Wisconsin, in the town of Horicon back in the late 1800s, and still opening doors today in communities such as New Berlin and Wauwatosa, Menominee Falls and Grafton, and even West Bend. Horicon Bank is truly Wisconsin, and they've truly been doing banking differently since 1896. How? Well, financing requests can be approved in days and not weeks. Your banker understands you and your business. At Horicon Bank, service and products go hand in hand. Top-notch products that'll help meet your cash flow needs. Need a mortgage? Horicon Bank. Home equity line of credit? Count on Horicon Bank. Need to start a savings or checking account for a family member or loved one? No doubt about it. You look to Horicon Bank. Everything Wisconsin, everything wonderful about this bank that has been doing business for 130 years. And member FDIC.
At Big Fish Contracting, we want every home project to be a good story worth sharing. That's why we as a team aim to exceed your expectations. We can improve any aspect of your home. Everything from a complex remodel to the essential roof, gutters, siding, and windows. Integrity, humility, and kindness are why we've grown in southeastern Wisconsin for the last 2 decades. Visit BigFishContracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Get your rock solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at ACCUNET.com.
It's 12:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. Your top story, the Pentagon's Arsenal of Freedom Tour, heading to Wisconsin.
I'm Jessica Ty, finishing that college degree in just 3 years.
Sunny and mild today, high 75. Clear tonight, a low of 58. It's currently 75 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The U.S. announcing it's prepared to slap countries with sanctions if it does business with Iran. U.S. Treasury Scott Bessent says there is no gray area in this conflict.
Let there be no ambiguity as to the position of the United States. And economic engagement of any kind with this murderous regime will expose those responsible to the full reach of American power.
Secretary Bessent, though, did not give a deadline for sanctions to start. The U.S. and Canada locked in a back and forth on tariffs. Canada now says it will put tariffs on American goods starting in September after the U.S. imposed 50% hikes on a variety of Canadian imports. Outside Reno, fire crews are on the front lines of a fast-moving blaze. The Hawk Fire in Nevada has scorched 15,000 acres in a matter of days. Communities in Gary, Indiana are still waiting for power to be restored nearly 2 weeks after severe storms. The utility company estimates all power could be back on within the next day. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:31. The Pentagon's Arsenal of Freedom Tour making a stop in northeast Wisconsin today.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is set to deliver remarks to workers and leaders at Oshkosh Corporation as part of a national tour focused on U.S. defense manufacturing. The U.S. Department of War says the tour is a call to, quote, champion a new approach to defense acquisition by cutting bureaucratic red tape, empowering program leaders, and providing long-term contracts. Oshkosh Corporation's defense business manufactures tactical vehicles and has several contracts with the U.S. military, including a $1.5 billion Army contract. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
As Wisconsin college students head back to campus, some could soon have a faster path to a bachelor's degree.
Reduced credit 3-year degrees are gaining popularity nationwide, and Wisconsin is part of the trend. Mount Mary University in Milwaukee offers 3-year programs requiring about 95 credits, while UW Green Bay has launched a 100-credit option in computer science. The UW Board of Regents also opened the door for other state universities to develop similar programs. Supporters say students could save a year of tuition and enter the workforce sooner, though critics worry what students may lose by cutting a year of coursework. Classes across the UW system start next week. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources increasing reimbursement rates for deer donation processors. The deer donation program supplies food pantries across the state with ground venison. Meat processors will now be reimbursed $125 per deer if they accept donations. The DNR hopes the $25 increase will encourage more processors to join the program. Hunters have donated over 100,000 deer since the program began in 2000.
The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources is asking state lawmakers to free up $10 million for communities dealing with contaminated drinking water. The money was paid by Tyco Fire Products as part of a settlement involving PFAS contamination near Marinette. Ray Rogers with the DNR says they've submitted a request to the legislature's Joint Finance Committee to access that money.
Following the court's approval of the settlement, the DNR hosted opportunities for community input on potential use of the funds.
The settlement money would be used for safe drinking water, testing, and replacement of contaminated private wells.
And a 24-hour shutdown coming this week, but not on the freeway. It'll still force drivers to find another route through the southwest side.
Southbound Highway 100 will be closed for about 24 hours this week. Wisconsin DOT's Eric Hansen says drivers should plan for that shutdown starting Thursday morning.
Over on the 894 project from Lincoln Avenue to 84th Street, we do have an extended full closure.
The closure is between Layton Avenue and I-43, the Rock Freeway. But Hansen says people will still be able to get to where they need to go in the area since they'll maintain access to businesses and the Hales Corners Park and Ride. The closure runs from 5 a.m. Thursday to 5 a.m. Friday. Debbie Lazaga, WTMJ News.
Up next, we're talking about the LaFleur brothers. That could be a fun name, too, for like a men's clothing line or a store. LaFleur brothers.
Sounds like the ringleaders to a circus, maybe?
Or that. Okay. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:34.
Bring us your problems, deadlines, complexities, anxieties, distractions, and budget distresses.
Plum Media is listening.
Share with us your creative block.
Plum Media is ready.
Give us your audience with limited time and attention.
Plum Media sets your message free.
Let's get your message heard. Let's strive for retention from beginning to completion. Whether your next event is for celebration, education, motivation, inspiration, Plum Media is waiting to take action.
Professional collaborators, planners, managers. Plum Media, video production and event management.
Plum Media, wow moments, flawless execution, clarity, calm, control.
And results.
Plum Media, a video, meetings, and event producer with global experience. PlumMedia.com.
Why settle for just a job when you can have a career in the exciting automobile industry? I'm Deb Cruz, president of ADAM, the Auto Dealers Association of Mega Milwaukee. The 114-member new car dealers that make up ADAM have extremely desirable service technician, sales, administrative, and management positions available now, and new ones opening up every day. Whether you're just getting out of school or considering a career change, the salary and benefits are fantastic, and the potential for advancement is unlimited. The first word in career is car, and one of the best places to find a great career opportunity is at an Adam member new car dealer. Live the life you've always imagined. What you do today can improve all your tomorrows.
Go to work happy when you go to work in the auto industry. For current great paying job opportunities, visit adam.com/jobs. That's ADAMM.com/jobs.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur doesn't want to see any fighting when the Arizona Cardinals come to town for joint practices this week.
If there's an issue, I'm going to tell the guys, hey, you come tag me in. They can tag in my brother, and we'll throw down on the 50.
LaFleur's brother Mike is in his first year as the head coach of the Cardinals.
It's going to be pretty special, but at the end of the day, we're just looking to try to get good work. Both sides prioritize the Green Bay Packers, but if there is another team in the National Football League that I'll be rooting for, it will be the Arizona Cardinals.
The teams wrap up the preseason Friday night at Lambeau. San Francisco 49ers owner Jed York pleading no contest to a pair of misdemeanor charges after being arrested in Ohio on suspicion of engaging in prostitution. Brewers begin the day with a 6-game lead over the Cubs for first place in the NL Central. Milwaukee drops the final game of a 3-game series against the Braves, but still takes 2 of 3. A 3-game series against the Mets begins Tuesday night in New York.
Let's get you an update on the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. We have a new crash. This one is on I-43 South at the ramp from Wisconsin Avenue. In fact, this one popped up probably 30 seconds after we ended our last traffic update. I-43 South at the ramp from Wisconsin Avenue. Left lane is blocked because of it. The camera does not pick up this crash, but I do see, just looking at the drive times here, there is quite the backup. In fact, it looks like the backup starts right after 43. As soon as you hit Keefe, it gets a little bit slower. It gets real slow along Locust and North Avenue. So we'll keep an eye on this one, but the crash is at I-43 South at the ramp from Wisconsin Avenue.
Beautiful day today. High 75 degrees, plenty of sunshine, just a little bit of clouds. Clear overnight at a low of 56. Tomorrow we bump up a little bit up to 82 degrees, slightly more humid, chance of evening rain. Better chance of rain on Wednesday, high temperatures 86 degrees. It's 75 and sunny right now in Milwaukee at 12:38. So I was absolutely fascinated watching the Brewers game last night. I told my daughters, hey, the Brewers are playing. It was kind of a later than usual Sunday night game. Usually they're playing at 1 o'clock or something like that. And they said, what is it all for? I was like, well, the Brewers are playing the Braves in an area where they play the Little League World Series. And both my daughters thought they were playing on the field where the Little League World Series will be played. No, they've got a real Major League-sized diamond out there, and they're going to play a game, but all the kids and the parents are going to be in the stands. So it was like 2,500 fans, very intimate setting, and the connection of Major League players to Little League players is so present throughout the entire time the Brewers and Braves are in Williamsport. That played out over the course of the past 3 days. Such a cool experience.
I was driving back home from Door County last night, and my husband called and said, I'm watching this game right now, and it's so cool to see. I mean, just to see all the kids in the stands, and I said, well, how many people are there? Because, it's not the same as going to a Brewers game, a little bit more intimate as well, and that makes it extra special.
Well, what was very clear is that Jacob Mizorowski is a superhero to these young kids.
As a little kid, I definitely dreamed, and I was that way too, about getting certain guys' autographs, but no, it's crazy that I'm the guy they look up to like that.
Yeah, Miz maybe looks most like a kid on the team, and he was talking to kids about trading Pokemon cards as much as he was his 104-mile-an-hour fastball. Great experience. Dom Catronio, host of Brewers Extra Innings, spending time in Williamsport with the team and joining us here. Dom, this seems like one of those mutually beneficial sort of trips where maybe you look at it on the schedule and think, that's kind of a hassle. We got to play a home game away from our home stadium. But every one of the players who commented seemed to have really enjoyed their trip and spending time with the kids.
The most amazing part of this trip, Greg, was exactly that. There was a little bit of apprehension of, all right, well, it's going to disrupt your schedule. What's everyone was complaining about the back-to-back day games and all that. But then the moment that you got on the tarmac and you saw the welcoming party that the Little League World Series and Major League Baseball put together, it just instantly was like, okay, no, They're thinking of us. They're grateful for us to be here. And the reception, every step you took, like I know Miz got the rock star welcome, but I promise you, walking up that hill, every single kid knew every single player that was walking by them. It was amazing. It was just remarkable. And Yelly put it well. It's a great reminder that obviously they know you're playing you in MLB The Show, but at the same time, they still watch us. They still know who we are. Their reach goes far beyond that we even realize. So to see it firsthand, to have real world interaction in a digital world, it just creates a much more fulfilling and memorable experience for everybody involved.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think it was actually on your social media pages that I saw the video with Yelly and just saying that this makes you realize that more people are watching than you even think. But I want to go back to Miz for a moment because something else that I thought was cool, it's just neat to see the interactions and the kids, kind of mobbing the Miz. But was this a moment too where he really realized, like, hey, I've made it?
For sure. It's exactly what he told us. And I think the way that Miz has always carried himself around us and around, even this happens in road cities too. I mean, if you're not familiar with the traveling circus that is Major League Baseball, there's autograph hounds at every step that these guys go, right? I mean, between leaving the team hotel to arriving at the ballpark to walking down the line, it's everywhere. It's absolutely insane. And I think that for Miz to see it to this level with kids, I think it just reached a whole new level. He said so as such, where he's always aw shucks, and Merce put it so well that he's Forrest Gump. But I think this was the first time it really sunk in that, like, okay, this really is bigger than me, and it goes beyond anything that I can control or imagine.
So I want to play this interaction from last night's game. So Carl Ravitch was doing the game, longtime broadcaster for ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. And they brought in Brewers pitcher Logan Henderson, who was part of the broadcast. He wasn't scheduled to pitch yesterday, and not uncommon to see a pitcher join the broadcast crew for a game like this. And they did a great job on ESPN of bringing in a Little League World Series player to have a conversation with a Major League player using the ESPN television broadcast as a vehicle. So here's the interaction.
Who was your favorite Major League player growing up?
What's up, Cooper? Derek Jeter was my favorite player growing up. I always thought that I was going to be a position player until the game told me I wasn't anymore, but Derek Jeter was certainly my guy.
Liner right there. Hey, Cooper, you're doing terrific, man. You keep up the great work. We can't wait to see what your team does. It's been fun to watch you.
Thank you, guys.
You got it. That's Cooper Tisson. Thank you, Logan, so much for being with us, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it.
That kid can pitch. That kid can pitch. Yeah, he can.
I threw a no-hitter the other day.
Yes, he did.
Lead off bomb. We watched the game.
Did you hear that at the end? Logan Henderson answers the question from the kid, but then says at the end, threw a no-hitter, he hit a leadoff bomb. He was watching the game. So there's Logan Henderson with this sort of authentic reaction, like, yeah, we're watching these kids too, Dom. I loved that interaction from last night's game.
And Cooper Tisson, it's funny, actually, because he's the kid that essentially eliminated the Whitefish Bay All-Stars, right? Remember in the regional championship game for the Midwest, I compared him to a 12-year-old Garrett Crochet. I mean, he was the one that has, he struck out at something like 80% of the batters he's faced so far in this tournament. So Logan was great, and I promise you, I'm in the clubhouse. The games are on, and the games are fascinating to see these kids and how advanced some of these kids' baseball acumens are and how much they enjoy the craft of the game. There were so many good questions hanging around the Little Leaguers yesterday, too. I got to be on the bus with a handful of players where there were two teams that were with 6 of the Brewers, and they were asking genuinely good baseball questions. I was just fascinated how fast they want to learn.
Okay, real quick, what was the best one you heard from the kiddos?
Well, honestly, one of the kids actually sat down with Miz, and I know there was a viral clip of Chris Sale hearing that, I just throw it down the middle and pray. No, that's not exactly what Miz told all the kids, but I think what Miz, was explaining to this kid, because the coach, jokingly, hey, you got to teach him how to throw more strikes. And Miz was just genuinely saying, hey, here's my breath routine. Here's what I do to slow down moments. Here's what I do when the moment gets large. And I think not everybody can throw 105 miles an hour, but everybody can control their breathing. Everybody can understand the difficulty of competition at a high level. So when you hear it from the best in the world, keeping it simple, that's when it really seems to hit for these 12-year-olds.
That's awesome. That's a great lesson. Also wanted to ask, too, because not everybody got to see the game, but you have a lot of people who wish they were around to see it. This was a great setting to remember Hank Aaron and his legacy. How did they do that? It seemed like there were a number of ways.
Yeah, the biggest one was pregame. It was called the Keep Swinging Pledge. And, as Henry Aaron's motto always was, I'm always going to keep swinging regardless of what's thrown my way, whether it is, the racial tensions that he had to fight and the injustice that he had to do in the beginning of his career, even throughout, his time with the Braves, and even convincing people to come to the ballpark as he's chasing down Babe Ruth's record and the hate mail that he received and everything that he went through. He just attacked it all with grace and with class. And I think of Henry a lot on days like today. I actually had a conversation about Henry Aaron with Christian Yelich last week about the fact that, I know you guys didn't intersect a lot, obviously, here, but you was the connective tissue between those two guys. And I really thought of it a lot to remind, 12-year-olds, it's a shame to say it. I mean, they weren't even, young enough or old enough to remember when Hank was around and still speaking into microphones. So to keep his legacy and to keep, the keep swinging motto going, which ironically is also my tagline at the end of all my broadcasts. So it was really, really well done by everybody involved to keep Henry Aaron's legacy prevalent. Of course, Milwaukee Braves, Atlanta Braves, and Milwaukee Brewer.
Yeah, part of the reason these teams were tabbed to play in Williamsport. Dom, great work, a really cool trip and great opportunity, and we'll listen to you again this week on Brewers Extra Innings.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Dom.
Yeah, you bet. Really cool broadcast, great opportunity. Rick Schlesinger, when we had him on the program before the end of the week, said he was looking forward to it, making that trip out. You could very much tell, genuinely, that the players absolutely relished and enjoyed that opportunity.
What a cool opportunity. The other thing, too, Dom was mentioning, I just thought of this when he said, a lot of people might not realize this, but when you go from city to city, there are autograph hounds. And that's funny because you think about in 2026, in this time, who really wants an autograph anymore? A lot of that has gone to the wayside, but I think it's different when it comes to MLB fans because of the ball. You want the baseball signed, right? It feels like that's why that has still stuck around with the fans.
You want it signed in the sweet spot. There's a very specific spot you want that baseball signed, then you get it authenticated. And if you're like me, you hang out of that thing for dear life. You never give it up because the memory of getting that ball signed always tells a great story. It always tells a great story. I know there's money to be made, but there's oftentimes great stories behind these. 12:48 here on WTMJ.
When you come to our showroom, you'll find more than a dozen glass shower door displays. Now that's what you're going to want to see, because browsing a bunch of options usually spurs ideas that you've never even thought of. And when you walk around with one of our glass shower door experts, you can ask questions and get assurance. We're here to help. And after nearly 50 years in the glass shower door business, there's not a whole lot we haven't seen. So don't worry, your project's about to be put in the very best of hands. At Les's Glass Service, you can count on our experience that makes it easy to promise top-flight installation. Glass shower doors are our specialty, and we're out there humping it every day to add to our portfolio to make the next project even better than the last. This is Stacy Sinks. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Les's Glass. Les's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lesglassservice.com.
And now, about your house. Eric Brown is the president of Siding Unlimited, your contractor for new windows, roofing, siding, decks, and a whole lot more. He knows about your house. So what do you know, Eric?
Recently, Siding Unlimited installed new windows in a home, and the homeowner loved the experience. Linda W. said, I was extremely satisfied with the service that was provided by Siding Unlimited. I had a new roof and new windows installed in my house. Linda loved that she chose the right company for peace of mind. She also loved the colors. Larry, another Siding Unlimited customer, was thrilled with the experience. Larry's home looks brand new. Go to our Siding Unlimited Instagram page and see our pinned message to listen to Larry's testimonial, but also see his house. Again, Siding Unlimited, knocking it out of the park. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit the 5-time Pella Platinum Premier National Window Contractor of the Year winner at sidingunlimited.com. Definitely listen to Larry on Instagram at Siding Unlimited LLC.
Eric and his crews at Siding Unlimited are your go-to contractor here for roofing and also replacement windows, decks, and of course siding. They've done it all at the Matzik households over the years. It started with windows, transforming our 1953 Milwaukee home into something beautiful. And then, on our new house, brand new LP Smart Side siding. Built 8 years ago, our house still looks brand new. Make sure to connect with Eric about patio projects as well. They've expanded our outdoor living space to an area fit with a beautiful cedar pergola, paver patio, gas fire pit, and more. The best in lighting? I can control it from my phone. All there at Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more. Take the next step and check them out at sidingunlimited.com. Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano talking with Dr. Mike Nolte at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Doc, a lot of people are hesitant to visit a surgeon for spine care.
The good news is that the vast majority of patients that I see and the majority of conditions that I can see can be successfully treated without surgery. And I don't want patients to think that just because you're seeing a spine surgeon means that you're going to be signing up for surgery. We talk about in my clinic kind of a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. orthowisconsin.com.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. Hey, reminder, it is summer storm season, and weather damage can be a real issue at the house. So if you think you've got a problem, remember, Tri-County Contracting gives free estimates on any potential wind or hail damage. And here's the best part, they can always work directly with your insurance. It's Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. Love your home again, even during the storm season, with Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
Enjoy life at Capri Communities, where senior living's our expertise. Caring staff that help you when you need. Enjoy life at Capri, making friends and memories. Living life to the fullest, you will love your new home.
Well, if they've not left for college yet, they're likely about to. A heartwarming trend developing on social media as kids head off to college. Many now throwing parties to honor the empty nester parents.
She celebrates a lot of milestones for us, and I wanted to be able to give her some of that back.
Avery Engelman teaming up with her siblings to celebrate their mom on the eve of her becoming an empty nester.
It was wonderful. I was so surprised and at the same time so grateful. I had 3 letters from each one of my kids. I think it's one of the best gifts I've ever had.
Some college-bound kiddos decorating with childhood photos, signs, and nostalgic decor, often incorporating their parents' favorite treats and thank you notes into their own empty nest parties, which have now racked up millions of views on TikTok.
So that's ABC's Will Gann. So it's a party that your kids throw for you.
That's sweet.
Mom and dad, or the guardians of the children, as they're about to leave and you become an empty nester, whether you're living alone or with your spouse, whatever the case may be. When I first read this, I thought this was like a neighborhood party that the kids are finally gone. And I'm like, no way would we be in that situation. Like, it'll be a very difficult day to drop our children off at college. But this idea that the kids could throw a little party for you and say thank you in so many ways, in so many words, I love it.
I think this is a twist because parents were throwing some parties. And I don't think it's usually, I know what you're saying and you're thinking ahead and your girls are still quite a ways away from that, right?
Going fast, though.
But you have a lot of, I feel like when you have a big family and it's the youngest child who finally goes off, and even though, yes, you're sad, there's also that part of, you hear the couple say, whoa, okay, we're empty nesters. There is a little bit of a celebration, and some of those couples have been celebrating for years now. So I think this is a fun little twist on it. But if your kids are going off to school and you're an empty nester and they didn't throw a party for you, it's okay because you can throw a party for yourself. You have fun little ideas like the nest is empty, the drink is full for a theme. No kids, no rules. So some of those little things, right? You set a playful tone and then the whole neighborhood comes.
Embrace the moment when it happens, right? It's going to be a challenging day, I know, in our household, but I also think it's a reflection of, hey, maybe you did a good job raising your kids. They're thinking about you during that situation and how they can celebrate you.
Nest-inspired bites. You can turn the menu into something like that. Some playful finger food, deviled eggs, chow mein noodle nest treats, hash brown cups, mini muffin desserts. We can get a whole plan going, Greg.
You're just spitballing here, but I like where your head is at. It's 12:55 and WTMJ News is coming up.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. When it's time for a new vehicle, I know where I'm going. Griffin Ford in Waukesha. It's where I always go. It's where I buy my cars. Bought my Ford Explorer. If you've been thinking about a new SUV or truck, now's the time to stop in. Griffin Ford has an incredible selection. 60 2026 Ford Explorers in stock, starting at just $37,790. Need a truck? They've got more than 50 new 2026 Ford F-150 4x4s in stock. Yeah, starting at only $44,775. And here's the best part. With most new vehicle purchases, you'll receive a 2-year, 25,000-mile premium maintenance plan, giving you even more value and peace of mind. With one of the largest Ford inventories in Wisconsin, you don't have to settle. You can find the color, features, and model that's right for you. Stop by Griffin Ford in Waukesha, where I buy my cars, or visit GriffinFord.com today. Offers end August 31st. See dealer for complete details. It's Griffin Ford.
Hi, I'm Kirsten Hildebrand of Hildebrand Law Firm. Since 2001, we've proudly helped Milwaukee families and business owners protect what matters most. We combine the experience of a larger law firm with the personal attention you deserve. We take the time to listen, explain your options, and create a plan that's right for you. When the stakes are high, you need trusted legal advocates who will stand by your side every step of the way. Protect your family, your legacy, and your peace of mind. Visit hildebrandlawfirm.net to schedule a consultation today.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scafidi. Have you listened to WTMJ Outdoors yet? Well, what are you waiting for? Every Saturday at 2 right here on 620 WTMJ. Stories of the outdoors of Wisconsin and beyond as we celebrate everything in recreation. This week, ATV and UTV ridership is way up in Wisconsin, but safety is a concern. We'll talk to some subject matter experts on that and more as we celebrate all things recreation and outdoors in Wisconsin.
It's WTMJ Outdoors, presented by Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
See every smile, every milestone, every moment that matters most. From the moment you walk into Shopko Optical, you'll feel welcomed, valued, and genuinely cared for. The team at Shopko Optical takes time to understand your concerns, explain your options, and answer questions so you feel confident in your care. Whether you're due for a comprehensive eye exam or looking for the right eyewear, they're here to support your vision and eye health every step of the way. Create your personalized eye care plan. Visit shopko.com today.
Labor Day and the American labor movement were built on 3 fundamental principles: fair wages, reasonable hours, and big savings on beauty rest at Hassellus Mattress. Or something like that. Now through Labor Day, Hassellus will give you a free adjustable base with the purchase of any Beauty Rest mattress, including Beauty Rest World Class and the Ultra Luxury Beauty Rest Black. If your current mattress has been laboring under you for the past decade, it deserves a much-needed retirement. Visit a Hassellus employee-free showroom and test your favorite mattress without commission-crazed salespeople hovering over you. Employee-free means way low prices. Others sell the Queen Beauty Rest Premium World Class Thatcher KA mattress for $2,450, but Hassellus has it for just $1,788, plus a free adjustable base, plus an additional $200 off, plus free next day delivery, plus a $100 rewards cash card. Now through Labor Day at Hassellus Mattress. Find an employee-free showroom near you at hassellus.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scafidi.
And Kristen Bry of Point Taken.
What's more important than having a special needs child turning 18 who needs guardianship?
Or helping aging parents plan for long-term care.
Thankfully, the attorneys at Walney Legal Group can help with both.
No intimidating lawyers, Walney Legal provides a customized, friendly experience to help make these processes as straightforward and streamlined as possible.
So whether you're planning for aging parents
or establishing a strong legal foundation for a special needs child, visit WALNYlegal.com.
Transform your home today. Exterior Pros. Trust the pros.
Your trusted and relevant source for news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 1 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Monday, August 24th. Your top story, resigning after costing the city of Milwaukee millions of dollars.
I'm Jessica Ty, pushing back on a proposed rate hike from We Energies.
Beautiful day today. Plenty of sunshine. High 75. Clear tonight. Comfortable. Low of 56. Tomorrow, little bump in temperature. High 82 with a chance of evening rain. It's 75 and sunny in Milwaukee at 1 o'clock. From the WTMJ breaking newsroom, a Milwaukee City Attorney's Office employee resigns after missing a legal deadline that could cost the city nearly six figures.
Kyle Bailey was tasked with responding to a lawsuit by manufacturer Regal Rexnord challenging the city's assessment value and property taxes on its downtown headquarters. Bailey didn't respond by a May deadline, claiming in a June hearing changes to city records technology had cases, quote, falling off the calendar. A judge ordered the city to pay more than $832,000 plus interest, though the case remains open with a hearing set for August 28th. The city attorney's office is declining to comment on the case. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Environmental activists are pushing back against another proposed rate increase by We Energies. This hike could raise your bills by about 14%.
Wisconsin conservation voters and other local groups gathered outside the We Energies office in downtown Milwaukee, calling on regulators to reject proposed increases for 2027 and 28.
Our electric bills don't need to be this high.
We Energy spokesperson Brendan Conway says the additional revenue would help pay for nearly $480 million in infrastructure investments, including renewable energy projects and reliability improvements.
This is part of a really robust process. This public aspect is really an important part of it, so we're glad to see more discussion around it.
The Public Service Commission is reviewing the request and is expected to make a decision this fall. In downtown Milwaukee, Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
A violent weekend in Milwaukee leading to 6 separate shootings, injuries, and even one death.
2 shootings happened Sunday. A 35-year-old was shot and killed Sunday night near 6th and Ring Street on Milwaukee's north side. Earlier that day, a 19-year-old was injured from an early morning shooting. 5 people suffered gunshot injuries on Saturday. A 1-year-old was also injured during a road rage incident near Sherman and Capitol. All shootings are under investigation. MPD data shows non-fatal shootings are down 27% and homicides are down 26% so far this year, compared with the same time period last year. Nicer Spencer, WTMJ News.
Economic D-Day. That's what the Trump administration is calling a new set of sanctions against Iran, and they're promising these will be the toughest in history. ABC's James Longman with the update.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says the goal is to, quote, sever every economic lifeline until Tehran stands alone. Now, Iran is warning that if the economic war continues, quote, not a single drop of oil will be exported through the Strait of Hormuz. Despite the rhetoric and the ongoing U.S. blockade on Iranian ports, we are now approaching 6 months since the U.S. and Israel launched their attacks on Iran, and there is no sign of a resolution.
Meanwhile, officials from Syria and Israel have met less than a week after Israeli strikes in Syria with the U.S.-mediated discussions focused on restarting negotiations for a future security agreement.
President Trump allowing beef to be imported without tariffs for the next 90 days to help bring down the prices at the grocery store. It's a move being criticized by American cattle ranchers and the Republican lawmakers that are representing their districts. Cattle farmer Shane Wiseman.
I appreciate the idea of trying to lower prices for the consumers. I mean, you know, we as beef cattle farmers are consumers as well. You got to keep that in mind. But I think it has a very strong negative impact in the long term on the U.S. cattle market and on the U.S. cattle farmer.
300,000 metric tons of beef will be imported and sold at 25% below market value. The president has not said where the cheaper beef would be coming from. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:04.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Steve Scafidi. Has your doctor told you it's time to lose weight? Is your blood pressure up, your cholesterol climbing, or you're already on medication and wondering, is this just my life now? Have you been told you need a procedure or surgery, but you have to lose weight first? That's where many people get stuck. At Milwaukee Weight Loss, they help people lose 20 to 40 pounds naturally in about 60 days without injections, prepackaged meals, or extreme workouts. More importantly, they help you keep it off so you're not stuck wondering what problem is next. Imagine improving your health, taking pressure off those joints, and feeling better every day. Because if nothing changes, it could mean more medications or bigger problems down the road. For me, Milwaukee Weight Loss is about more than a number on the scale. I have more energy, I feel healthier, and I'm eating healthier every day, and I'm building habits I can stick with to keep the weight off for good. Now it's time to get back to you. Right now, $200 off through August 31st. Schedule your free consultation now at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Never a better time to feel better about what you look like and how you feel. Results may vary.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow up about 65 points today, 53,343. NASDAQ off $1.50 at 26,030. And the S&P 500 down about 20 points this afternoon at 76.54. For sound financial advice from a fee-only fiduciary, it's Annex Wealth Management. Go to annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
Save big on everything for your landscaping project when you shop at Menards. Make it easy for you to enhance your outdoor living space with the largest in-stock selection of concrete landscape block. Ready to take home today. Create a fire pit or retaining wall with our tumbled Belgian wall blocks. On sale now. Save big on your landscape project at Menards. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, and they offer early memory loss classes to help you. They specialize in this area. It's kindness at the core, locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. It's compassion, it's empathy. It's Wisconsin-based and family-owned, always welcoming people to come tour and welcome their new residents. I've seen their places. They're top-notch. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. Packers hosting the Cardinals this week for joint practices in advance of Friday's preseason finale at Lambeau. Cardinals, led by first-year head coach Mike LaFleur, Matt's brother.
Yeah, he is quick to criticize everything that I put on the schedule. So he's like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? We never do this. And I was like, all right, Mike, you got all the answers. So no, it's been healthy. It's been good. So there's been give and take on both sides for sure.
Packers must trim the roster to 53 by 3 o'clock the afternoon of August 30th. Brewers with a day off after taking 2 of 3 against the Braves. Milwaukee begins the day 6 games ahead of the Cubs for first place in the NL Central. Milwaukee begins a 3-game series against the Mets Tuesday night.
Checking out your roads with the WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. It's been an okay Monday on the roads. We've seen a couple crashes pop up, but then they've quickly cleared. We do have one crash right now I want to let you know about. It's in a busy spot. I-94 East, about a mile and a half beyond the ramp from Moreland Road. Left shoulder is blocked due to a crash. And this is definitely causing some slowdowns. That stream not available, unfortunately. That's a bummer. I always like to see exactly what's going on. Unfortunately, it looks like they have cut the cameras in a couple spots here, which sometimes can mean it's a nasty crash. Sometimes it can just be the fact of the matter that the stream is not available right now. So what I can let you know, though, is there is indeed a crash. I-94 East, a little bit more than a mile and a half beyond the ramp from Moreland. Left shoulder is blocked because of it. Looks like from a still shot that I can see from a little bit ago before the cameras were cut that a couple of cars are involved. I do see that the backups are getting worse. I also want to give you a heads up about this. Maybe it's related. Not sure, though. I'm not going to say it is, but it's possible. I-94 East at Moreland, there is debris on the road, so expect lane closures because at some point they've got to get a team out there to clean up whatever is on the road so it does not cause an accident. Hopefully it didn't already. Hopefully that accident I told you about is not because of that. We'll see. We'll keep tabs on it and let you know.
Plenty of sunshine today, comfortable temperatures, relatively low humidity, high 76 degrees, overnight low 55. Tomorrow looking pretty good with a high of 80 degrees, a little more on the muggy side, slight chance of evening rain. Better chance of rain on Wednesday in a couple of different rounds, and a high of 83. Sunny on Thursday, high 80. Friday's high 77 with sunny skies. 75 right now in Milwaukee at 109.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Credit where credit is due, because it is Gina's birthday, and everybody knows that Gina is a big-time fan of all things coffee-related. So,
yes, she is. She loves it. Loves that caffeine.
Well, you did a fantastic job of finding a coffee-related gift that I'd never seen before, but apparently it's making the rounds on social media. But it's like, could you describe what you purchased and what we purchased Gina for her birthday here, but you found?
Well, I feel like I want to have Gina explain. Gina, do you want to explain?
I think you should.
Why don't you explain and I'll show?
Okay. Oh, perfect. I love it. Okay. So I have seen this and I had an idea. I saw it a couple months ago and I thought, oh, this is perfect for Gina. So I thought when her birthday pops up, we might have to do this if she doesn't have it already. That was the key. But I thought, it's kind of more of a fun. It's a gift thing. Here we go. Oh, she's getting it up right now. What it is it's a coffee mug, but forget everything you think about a coffee mug because it looks like a coffee pot. So it's like a miniature coffee pot, but she drinks so much coffee that I thought this would be perfect. And then it comes with a glass straw as well. So it looks like you're just drinking the coffee out of a miniature coffee pot.
Did you get it up on the site on the live stream here, Gina? Are people able to see
It's coming to Jessica right now.
She's bringing it in. Okay, she's bringing it into us. So for all of you on streaming right now, you can see it. It's it is adorable. And it's kind of classy too. I mean, it's glass. It's simple. And yeah. Oh, I did this like they do it on TikTok. I've never even done that before, but a lot of people, they give you the...
Oh, the clicking of the nails on the thing?
There's a name for that. Not sure exactly what it is.
ASMR.
ASMR. That's what it is.
ASMR? Is that an acronym? Oh, God. I'm going to have to figure that out. Yeah, it's very cool. It's very cool.
I thought you were going to bring up the I don't even know what they are, the under eye things that have caffeine in it.
Yeah, well, that was also another good find. Pretty impressive. Happy birthday to Gina. Happy birthday to Gina.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, Canada and the U.S. are in a trade war. Canadian officials are pushing back on the new tariffs that are now imposed on Canadian imports into the U.S. ABC's Karen Travers.
50% tariff on Canadian goods coming into the United States. The White House, though, this morning, even as the president is digging in and now announcing the potential of new tariffs that he says would not go into effect until January 1st. Unclear why he would wait so long for that. We, of course, have asked the White House. But they're also downplaying the potential impact on American consumers and the American economy.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister says this is now a war, using those terms exactly, and they're going to fire back in this trade war. They're putting their own tariffs on American goods starting September 8th. Those will also be 50%.
Another high-profile athlete break-in story. An investigation underway into a break-in at the home of Dallas Cowboys receiver CeeDee Lamb. ABC's Sophie Flay.
Police say Lamb's Texas home was burglarized while he was 1,400 miles away at training camp in California. They say the suspect broke in through a window and took several high-end personal items. The Fort Worth Star-Telegram, citing police records, reports 4 luxury bags were stolen, worth more than $300,000. No arrests have been made.
Just last month, an intruder entered the home of Philadelphia Eagles star running back Saquon Barkley. He and his wife were sleeping at the time. Those suspects are still at large. Bucks forward Bobby Portis was targeted while he was playing at Fiserv Forum. Other star athletes have been burglarized over the last several years. Right now, law enforcement has not officially tied the burglary of CeeDee Lamb's home to that South American crime ring. That was sort of the conclusion of all these string of burglaries that happened in a cluster. No known suspects or clear leads on Lamb's case, but the incident does match a very specific pattern that we've seen in these other robberies.
Number 3, yet another law enforcement officer has lost his job after being accused of using data from an automated license plate reader for personal reasons. This time it's an officer in Temple, Texas. The police chief says the misuse of the flock cameras was detected during a routine audit. Meanwhile, a man dressed as Darth Vader crashed a city hall meeting in San Diego to roast the cameras. Listen to this.
Opponents of flock cameras are trying a new approach as they argue that we're all being spied on.
Thank you, Darth Vader.
Humor. At a meeting of the San Diego City Council Public Safety Committee,
the Emperor is a fan of flock.
A guy in full Darth Vader costume made his tongue-in-cheek argument.
This technology will help us find Luke Skywalker as he traverses the universe in his X-Wing.
A man in San Diego was held for a month after he was mistakenly linked by flock cameras to an attempted carjacking. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Hey, it's 1:14. We hear the job market is cooling. So why is Uline holding a big hiring event? We'll separate fact from fiction with the company's chief HR officer next.
Bring us your problems, deadlines, complexities, anxieties, distractions, and budget distresses.
Plum Media is listening.
Share with us your creative block.
Plum Media is ready.
Give us your audience with limited time and attention.
Plum Media sets your message free.
Let's get your message heard. Let's strive for retention from beginning to completion. Whether your next event is for celebration, education, motivation, inspiration, Plum Media is waiting to take action.
Professional collaborators, planners, managers. Plum Media, video production and event management.
Plum Media, wow moments, flawless execution, clarity, calm, control.
And results.
Plum Media, a video, meetings, and event producer with global experience. PlumMedia.com.
Ready to travel with a community of fellow explorers? Check out Fox Group Vacations with Globus. We have incredible expert-led itineraries lined up for 2027. Taste your way through Italy, witness the breathtaking waterfalls and glaciers of Iceland, or relax on the tropical shores of Hawaii. We handle all the logistics, flights, and details so you can just enjoy. Spaces fill fast. Call 866-GO-FOX-GO or visit foxworldtravel.com.
From singing varsity to jump around. And of course,
touchdown, Wisconsin!
The traditions of Badger football live here. Join us Sunday, September 6th. It's the season opener at Lambeau against Notre Dame. Our coverage begins at 4:30 on your home for Wisconsin football.
For all the Badgers action this season, go to Wisconsin's radio station, 620 WTMJ.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Many people feeling close to retirement ask themselves, do I have enough?
Am I missing something?
At Diversified Wealth Strategies, we provide clarity during our complimentary, no-pressure consultation. We're independent advisors using big firm tools with a boutique-style approach.
And no crickets. We stay in touch so you're never left wondering.
At Diversified Wealth Strategies, let us show you how to capture the upside, limit the downside, and feel good inside.
Visit dwstrategies.com.
Securities and investment services offered through Mosaic Wealth Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Mosaic Wealth is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Mosaic Wealth.
Sunny skies today, high 75 degrees, overnight low 55. Tomorrow, a little warmer, high of 82. Chance of rain late, better chance of rain on Wednesday with a high of 85. 74 degrees right now and sunny in Milwaukee at 118.
Apple, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Netflix join the list of companies slashing jobs. That's a headline just published today in the magazine Fast Company. I saw another article over the weekend in Fortune magazine that reported 90% of executives say AI has not boosted productivity, but some are still cutting jobs. We're hearing a lot lately about companies pulling back. But tomorrow, one of Southeast Wisconsin's largest employers is holding a hiring event. So what's really happening? Is the labor market cooling, or are employers still fighting for workers? Let's ask someone who hires for a living. Uline's Chief HR Officer, Gil De La Salas, joins us live. Thanks for joining us, Gil.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So I just mentioned some of the headlines. You read it a lot. We talk about it a lot. U.S. hiring slumps. Labor market is slowing. What are you seeing at Uline? What does the employment picture look like from your seat?
Great question. Yeah, I do think that it depends on the industry as well as the region of the country. Some of the companies that you mentioned are definitely in the tech space. And I think over the past number of years, their hiring plans may have been a bit ambitious. And so I think that's why you're seeing a bit of the reporting on job cuts or slowing down. Companies like us, we're a distributor. We do a very thoughtful approach around hiring and wanting to make sure that we plan to what our projected demand will be. So thankfully for us, the way we thought about AI is not so much about job replacement, but more about helping folks be more productive in their roles, enhancing how they spend their time, and looking very thoughtfully where that technology can be applied.
So, Gil, is this in some respects Uline zigging while other big companies are zagging? In other words, you hear the stories about Amazon, Apple, big tech, and other companies saying, we're reducing headcount, and then Uline steps in and says, hey, we got your back here.
Yes, for us, our employees are really the heartbeat of the company. They interact directly with our customers, both, over the phone, online, and so forth. And so, again, we've used these tools to be very planful and thoughtful. Our way that we handle our products and fulfill our orders is very specialized. And so we want to make sure that our people are the ones that are being thoughtful about how to handle these orders. Sometimes AI can, I think, maybe not be quite that smart yet. And so for us, it's more how can we take certain tasks that are things that can be automated and do that, but not replace the content of the important work that they do.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the word automated, because I think people think of AI in one capacity and then robots in another. How much of Uline's operation is automated today in 2026?
We have some automation, when you think about conveyor, certain conveyor lines, and then some technology around the wrapping of orders. But for us, we do feel like our people are the best folks to take the order, judge the order, make sure that the package is correct and complete. And right now, the technology isn't, at least in our minds, good enough for the business model that we have. I will say that, in the future, as things get better, there may be some enhancements to that, but we still, again, feel that people are at the center of what we do.
Gil, to that end, how important is it to have a workforce that understands how AI operates and is evolving with its emergence and evolving trends?
Yeah, I think that right now that, my words, there's a lot of, I'll say, kind of chase the shiny penny. There's a lot of folks that have, come out and said, oh, this is, call it the silver bullet that can fix a lot of things. For us, we're taking a very conservative approach around test and learn, looking at use cases. We've talked to our folks about, do you see any sort of application in your role? If so, what are some things out there that you've heard of or become exposed to? That we might want to test out. So I do think people understand that the technology is out there, that it's coming, that it's emerging, it's evolving, but we're not going to overcommit or apply something that hasn't been fully thought out or proved out yet.
Gil is the Chief HR Officer at Uline. Uline has a big warehouse hiring event in Kenosha tomorrow from 5 to 7. I see that you're advertising starting pay for a warehouse worker between $26 and $36 an hour, depending on the shift, of course. That's significantly higher than the average warehouse wage in Wisconsin. How is Uline able to make that happen? And why do you pay more? It might sound like a silly question, but not everyone who can does.
Yeah, no, I mean, we expect a lot of our folks. It's a very skilled position, and so we do believe that we want to pay at top of market for that skill set. Right now, I would tell you that we see a record number of applicants come through, and so we're really looking for the best of the best. And so for us, we feel that we want to reward folks for their commitment to us and for doing a good job. And downstream for us, we benefit from really low turnover. I think people feel that this is a place that they want to work, that they're being invested in. And that they will be rewarded for that hard work.
Gil, we just did a story with a man who represents the MMAC here in Milwaukee about a growing trend where, middle management or even senior leaders are turning down promotion opportunities because they don't want to lose their flexibility, that work-life balance. I'm wondering, at a place like Uline, have you seen hints of that at all in your workspace?
Well, we are in an in-office culture, both at our corporate office, our sales offices, and in our warehouse. And so we're here. We feel that we're better together. We feel that when we're together, we can collaborate more. We can build our culture, make sure that, we see each other regularly. What I am seeing out, to the point that you mentioned about, call it candidate behavior, I do feel like there are a lot of folks, given some of the uncertainty that may be out there, that would prefer just to kind of sit for a bit. The term job hugging is out there, that, rather than take a risk or take a leap, I'd rather stay where I'm at because I know what I know at this point. And so I do think what I'm seeing in the market is candidates shopping and assessing what their level of ability to find a new job is, but then ultimately when presented with an offer, they may decline because they are choosing to stay where they're at.
Give us the rundown for tomorrow, Gil. What should people know if they're interested in getting a job at Uline or know someone else who is?
Yeah, they can visit our events page at uline.jobs, ULINE.jobs. The event is going to be from 5 to 7 p.m. here at our Kenosha warehouse. And so more information is available there online. You can fill out an initial interest form, and then we look forward to meeting with folks here on site tomorrow.
How many people are you looking to hire?
Well, we can. We'd love to hire as many as we can. I mean, typically with one of these events, if we could hire 20 to 30 at a time, that'd be great. But thankfully for us, our business is good. We service customers across all of North America, and this is our main hub. So we have the ability to add, folks to our operation as we continue to grow.
We appreciate your time. That's Gil De La Salas, Chief HR Officer for Uline. Thanks so much, Gil.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
It's 1:26. Coming up next, local news and your top national headlines.
Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee is setting the stage to rock your socks off. This August, jam out with real rock off. You could win raging prizes to the tune of $300,000. Get in on the jam session by playing with your Potawatomi rewards card for entries. Thursday nights will be a game show battleground for your share of cash and reward play. Real rock off. It's gonna be epic. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Hey, Greg Matzik here for Sorens Ford on Capitol Drive in Brookfield. Drove through the dealership the other day, as a matter of fact. Hey, the 2027s are arriving. Beautiful Ford Expeditions lined up, ready to go. That means they also need to start moving those 2026s that have yet to been sold. That could be a great deal for you. Connect with Sorens Ford on Capitol Drive. They will walk you through and guide you through an incredible buying and then ownership experience. It's really unlike anything else. And they have been in business with the same family ownership for 108 years. Sorens Ford. You know the name. They've been around since 1917. The oldest running Ford dealership here in the state of Wisconsin and the original home of the nice guys. Service appointments, they got your back. In fact, they'll come to your house in some respects, pick up the vehicle, bring it back to the dealership, do whatever's needed, and bring the vehicle back to you. That is convenience. That is service. That is the difference with Sorens Ford. Visit Sorens.com. That's SOERENS.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. In 1845, the first clerk of Washington County built a quaint one-room cabin in the Kettle Moraine Forest. In 1933, Ray Wolf, an avid outdoorsman, restored the cabin, built a basement bar, and opened it to fellow equestrians. It became headquarters for many a fox hunt, and the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club was born. And now, when you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free every night, every night. Choice steaks, seafood, ribs, the roast duck. How about the surf and turf? Vegetarian options, any entree, all buy one, get one free. Desserts and ice cream drinks, my favorite part of the meal. Also, buy one, get one free. Wine down with an old-fashioned. Choose from 20 bourbons, more than 120 wines in the rustic bar, and there are 8 unique dining rooms. Experience a spectacular summer drive through the Kettle Moraine to the Fox and Hounds, recently honored as the second most popular supper club in the state by restaurant critic Troy Munson. Near the Holy Hill Shrine, it's the famous Fox and Hounds.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. Hey, reminder, it is summer storm season, and weather damage can be a real issue at the house. So if you think you've got a problem, remember, Tri-County Contracting gives free estimates on any potential wind or hail damage. And here's the best part, they can always work directly with your insurance. It's Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. Love your home again, even during the storm season, with Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
So I was talking with another real estate agent who has been in the business even longer than I have, with a couple of other big-name companies. He was talking about how it's tough to compete with us because we have good agents and we charge less commission. And he even said that he lost a few listings to us, and it always bothered him because he realized that he was doing everything that we were doing, but he was charging more. We do charge less, and we do everything that a full-service agency does, because we are full-service real estate agents. The only difference is we give you our very best commission rate up front. You do pay for what you get. And with Century 21 Benefit Realty for 1.9% on the listing side of your home, with a cap of $19,000 commission on any size home, you can get full-service experienced agents, MLS marketing, professional photos, even virtual walkthroughs, and everything you get from any other big-name agent, all under the umbrella of the Century 21 brand. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
It's 1:30. I'm Greg Matzik. It is 75 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The U.S. says it's widening its secondary sanctions for countries and financial institutions that continue to do business with Iran. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent warning that there's no gray area left in this conflict.
We know who they are. They know who they are. So when the hammer of U.S. Treasury actions falls upon them, they will have no one to blame but themselves.
A trade war brewing within the U.S. and Canada. Canada says it will implement its own tariffs on U.S. goods. That after the Trump administration's 50% hike on some Canadian goods went into effect Saturday. Fire crews in Nevada are battling an out-of-control wildfire northwest of Reno. The Hawk Fire erupted over the weekend and has triggered thousands of evacuations. That blaze scorching 15,000 acres so far. And extreme heat in California's Death Valley National Park is blamed for the death of a French tourist who set out to walk after car troubles, temperatures reaching 116. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:31. A Republican state lawmaker giving Milwaukee election officials 30 days to explain what went wrong at Central Count during this month's primary.
Assembly Elections Committee Chair Dave Maxey is requesting a detailed account of how results were not loaded correctly onto 5 flash drives when staff initially departed Central Count on primary night. The mistake forced workers to return with a police escort and delayed some of Milwaukee's absentee results by roughly 90 minutes. Maxey says there's no evidence results were compromised, but says if Milwaukee Election Commission Executive Director Paulina Gutierrez cannot correct reoccurring mistakes, she should resign. The general election is November 3rd. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
A new program is helping Milwaukee public school teachers stock their classrooms without spending their own money.
The NPS Foundation hosted the first ever Teachers Pick Supply Drive and gave hundreds of boxes to teachers filled with new classroom supplies for the school year.
We thought that this would be a very good way to start the school year and prevent perhaps them having to come out of pocket like they traditionally have to do.
Myra Edwards, Executive Director of the Milwaukee Public Schools Foundation, tells WTMJ.
First year teachers, we want to give them the kind of support that they probably wouldn't have otherwise gotten. And then you have the veteran teachers that pretty much structured their classrooms the way that they want, but they can always use something extra.
Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
The first day of school for MPS is next Tuesday.
Environmental regulators waiting on state lawmakers to release $10 million aimed at addressing PFAS contamination in northeast Wisconsin. The money comes from the state's settlement with Tyco Fire Products over contamination near Marinette. Dre Rogers is with the Department of Natural Resources.
A top priority identified by community members was to provide safe drinking water to residents with private wells impacted by PFAS in and around the expanded site investigation area.
The DNR and Governor Tony Evers have formally asked the legislature's Joint Finance Committee for access to the money.
A new scam is targeting people with fake calls from their banks. But there's a little twist on this. Scammers are now asking victims to turn on their cameras. They claim there's suspicious activity on the person's account, and then they offer to help you fix it. Michelle Ryden with DATCAP tells Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News.
It's just a broadcast net. They're not being that specific. They're indicating we've seen suspicious activity on your bank account, your credit card, and they're being vague about that. And that's a really important detail. If consumers can pick up on it,
Ryan says the scammers will ask you to share your screen or point the camera to your account while you log in. Do not do that.
I had a similar situation happen about a week ago. I ordered a Starbucks gift card for my niece's birthday. She's a student at University of Illinois, and I sent it. Within moments, I got a phone call from a weird area code saying they were my credit union, saying, oh, hey, well, you need you to authorize this purchase. And then I got an email from something attempting to be where I do my banking, and that didn't prove to be legit. So it was kind of an avoid at all costs. I contacted my niece. I'm like, hey, did you get this? She said, yes, thank you, Uncle Greg. Appreciate it. Yeah.
She's like, I already had the coffee.
Seriously. But within moments, I got a phone call and an email that were both back ends of a scam.
Yeah, that timing is weird.
Yes.
That makes you wonder, but you always have to say, okay, there's a red flag here. But this is a twist. Having you turn on your camera, that makes you go, okay, well, what the heck?
That's creepy stuff.
Now you know.
1:35 here, sports, traffic, and weather are next.
See every smile, every milestone, every moment that matters most. From the moment you walk into Shopko Optical, you'll feel welcomed, valued, and genuinely cared for. The team at Shopko Optical takes time to understand your concerns, explain your options, and answer questions so you feel confident in your care. Whether you're due for a comprehensive eye exam or looking for the right eyewear, they're here to support your vision and eye health every step of the way. Create your personalized eye care plan. Visit shopko.com today.
It's the most wonderful time of year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, and more at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
No matter where you hear WTMJ, whether it be here.
So we are overlooking the bay. We're in the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studios.
Or there.
Here live in our Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Catch us at home or on the go. Thanks to Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
In the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin podcast studio.
We are live wherever you are, on the air and on the go. The Pella Windows and Doors podcast studio is live on WTMJ.com.
Are you hosting an event, launching something new, wanting to get the word out about your part of the state? Be a featured guest on the WTMJ Experience Wisconsin show. Share your story, promote your event or business, and connect with fans all across the state. I'm John Merkier. I'd love to interview you. We reach listeners from Milwaukee to Madison, Green Bay to La Crosse, everywhere in between. It's Experience Wisconsin. Ready to shine a spotlight on your business or company? Email me, john@WTMJ.com for more information. john@WTMJ.com.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports desk. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur doesn't want to see any fighting when the Arizona Cardinals come to town for joint practices this week.
If there's an issue, I'm going to tell the guys, hey, you come tag me in. They can tag in my brother, and we'll throw down on the 50.
LaFleur's brother Mike is in his first year as the head coach of the Cardinals.
It's going to be pretty special, but at the end of the day, we're just looking to try to get good work, both sides. Prioritize the Green Bay Packers, but if there is another team in the National Football League that I'll be rooting for, it will be the Arizona Cardinals.
Teams wrap up the preseason Friday night at Lambeau. The Brewers begin the day with a 6-game advantage over the Cubs for first place in the NL Central. Milwaukee drops the final game of a 3-game series against the Braves, but still takes 2 out of 3. A 3-game series against the Mets begins Tuesday night in New York.
Let's get you an update on the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. I have to admit, we've had a couple issues today. There have been some crashes out there. We had debris on one of the interstates. But for the most part this afternoon, when an issue has popped up, it has cleared quickly. And I love that. So right now, we do have a new issue. Hopefully this one clears quickly, too. It kind of seems like it will. There is a broken down vehicle on the ramp from Moreland Road to I-94 West. So that's out in the Brookfield area, out in Waukesha County. That's a new one. Disabled vehicle, broken down, looks like an SUV on the ramp from Moreland Road to I-94 West. Other than that, though, all of our crashes have cleared. We do have our typical delays in our construction zones, especially around American Family Field. I do see one more popped up. Nope, that's a disabled vehicle and there are no backups. Other than that, we're looking good.
Oh, beautiful start to the work week from a weather perspective. I find it fitting that Gina's birthday is on a day where it's 75 degrees and sunny. She likes to go for a run, so I feel like it's a really good run day for Gina. Right? Gina's nodding her head. Yes, it would be a good thing to do.
Oh, that was something else I looked at for her, was they just, some of the fun stuff when you're looking, especially for ladies, it can be fun. And since she likes to run, they have these, it's almost like a mask for your feet. Like re-energizes your feet. It may be your birthday coming up, Greg. I mean, we've got a while to wait yet, but you're a runner too. Does that sound like your feet are sore and after a run, you're probably shaking your head, no, I don't want to do that. I don't know, Gina, you might like that feet mask.
Energizing foot mask. I'll put that on the list here. Yeah, I've never heard of such a thing. I don't know if it's Lindsay Slater's birthday. I feel like every day is Lindsay Slater's birthday. You know what I'm saying? Always time to celebrate Lindsay, TMJ4 meteorologist.
That's so nice.
Great. High five your favorite weather person today, Lindsay. It's beautiful outside.
I love that. I needed that. I had some mean emails this morning, so I love you guys. Thank you.
Oh, jeez. There's always one. But there's always one.
There's
guy
always
out
a
there,
couple.
Right?
I know, but I used to also be a runner. I don't run anymore. I can't. But yes, this is. Quite frankly, this is the perfect running weather. There's no bad air quality. You have low humidity. You have some nice sunshine. This is perfect for all the runners out there. That's such a good idea. I love that.
Yeah, and now I'm curious, what were people complaining about today? Because it really is lovely, but for some people, maybe it's too cool.
It's more about when we're on during wall-to-wall coverage, they get upset. And I understand that. I completely get that. At the end of the day, I just want to keep everybody safe. That's always going to be our number one priority. And I realize it doesn't happen in everybody's backyard. We have a big viewing area. So
Sure.
if it does bother you, just know that anything that is on our station does re-air. If you missed something, it can be replayed. If someone had a tornado last week, that's all I will say.
I remember we were in the same building. You would walk down to get some coffee from the coffee closet at Channel 4's on the other side from the radio station, and you'd hear people on the phone talking to those who are saying, "Could you get Days of Our Lives back on the air, please? Why am I not seeing Days of Our Lives?" Like, well, there's like a EF0 tornado plowing through southeastern Wisconsin, so we'll bypass on whatever salacious content appears on that soap opera.
Yeah, it's always hard.
But we hear
like
you.
a season finale.
Right, I know. And here's the thing: we actually do have a policy here at TMJ, which is really refreshing. Actually, we do listen to what you guys say. If it's on for a long time and we're on the air and we're like, you know what? If the meteorologists in house don't see something that warrants continued coverage, we will get off the air. We don't have to wait till the warning is over. That's a lot of different stations will wait until the whole thing's done. We are allowed to, if we personally don't see something that warrants us staying on the television, we will get off and go back on as needed, which is a really refreshing and kind of shows we are listening to what you guys are saying.
That is refreshing because sometimes you have people, cheering because they were the last ones on. I've definitely experienced that throughout my years too. Refreshing, just like the weather. These temperatures.
Oh, it's so great.
What are we normally sitting at? I mean, it's very comfortable, but what is it typically like?
Typical high temperature today is 80 degrees. So we are going to be below average today. I went for a high of 76 today. It's really those dew points that make it feel so much cooler because we've dealt with a lot of high humidity this summer. And when you have higher humidity and warm temperatures, you get the feel like temperature or the heat index. And we've dealt with a lot of higher heat index values during this summer. So this is actually a very refreshing beginning of the work week. As you had mentioned, good running weather. Also, there are some kids that are starting school already this year, so this definitely feels like a first day of school, and it was actually pretty chilly this morning. Some folks got down into the mid-40s.
Well, we've got a little chance of rain here midweek, Lindsay. What are you tracking here that could be developing?
Okay, so for what I'm looking at for midweek here is I think tomorrow is still just fine. We do have a warm front on the way tomorrow. If you are up in the Northwoods, that will likely trigger some activity there. I don't think we see much around here. That warm front, though, is kind of a telltale sign we're going to have higher humidity on Wednesday because of that front. Then we get the cold front. That's going to roll through likely in the morning, so we could see some scattered showers, maybe a few rumbles on Wednesday morning. But the caveat with this is if the cold front does indeed slow down, then there's more energy for it to work with, and maybe things get a little bit feisty. But from what I'm seeing right now, it comes through in the morning. The feistiness would only come into play if it slows down. So we are looking at some, I would say, Wednesday morning rain. Things kind of move out, and then Thursday, Friday look glorious with the dew points going right back down and highs exactly where they should be this time of the year.
Wow, yeah, looking at Thursday, that looks like it could be the pick day of the week.
Oh, yes, Thursday and Friday. Oh, much better than Tuesday. Tuesday's a tough day because it's not, I feel like, Monday, you're still kind of on the high of the weekend, and by Wednesday, you're halfway there, but Tuesday, you got a ways to go.
Yes, I agree. Tuesday's just kind of a rough one for a lot of people, no matter the weather.
Yeah.
Well, definitely enjoying it today, and we'll look forward to the back end of the week as well, keeping an eye on potential rain for middle of the week. Good stuff, Lindsay. We appreciate it. Thank you.
You too. Bye.
Yep, it's 1:44 here on WTMJ. You want to talk about an amazing feat? You haven't heard anything until you heard this. We'll explain.
Labor Day celebrates fair wages, reasonable hours, and big savings on beauty rest at Hassellus Mattress. Through Labor Day, Hassellus will give you $200 off and a $100 rewards cash card, plus free next day delivery and removal of your old mattress, plus a free adjustable base with the purchase of any Beauty Rest world-class mattress. Save big on beauty rest now through Labor Day at Hassellus Mattress. Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at hassellus.com.
Wisconsin's hometown pizza is Palermo's. There is a great deal going on right now. You can pick up Connie's thin crust pizza, bold flavors, that crispy thin crust that you love. $5 right now, $4.99 to be exact. That is premium pizza at a great price Right now, you can find Connie's at the frozen aisle at Sendik's and save through the 25th of August. Sendik's, Connie's, $4.99 through August 25th. That's a great deal. That's delicious pizza made by Palermo's, made right here in the state of Wisconsin for over 60 years. If you're planning pizza night, why not make it a great one by stopping at Sendik's and stocking up on Connie's frozen pizza, made by Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scafidi. We had so much fun in Mexico last February. My wife, Kathy Rosegray, and I are going back again, and we want you to join us. This February, we're experiencing the Sea of Cortez, staying at the exceptional Dreams Los Cabos Suites Golf Resort and Spa, a resort that captures all the beauty and elegance of colonial Mexico with unlimited luxury. Everything is included. Best-in-class service, gourmet restaurants, top-shelf drinks, and endless activities. We fly nonstop from Milwaukee and spend 7 nights at this world-class resort. Off-property, you can enjoy championship golf, whale-watching excursions, I'm going to go on that, or a visit to San Jose del Cabo. Once again, we've teamed up with Fox World Travel's Rosegray to join us, Steve and Kathy, and a bunch of listeners just like us, and handpick a destination and resort we know you'll love. Last year's Mexico trip sold out quickly. This one will too. Don't miss it. Call Fox World Travel at 866-GO-FOX-GO. That's 866-GO-FOX-GO right now. Come with us. Secure your spot today.
Tune in Saturdays at 6 a.m. for Legally Speaking with Kirsten Hildebrand. Hildebrand Law. Legal talk without the filler and straight to the point. Miss the show? Catch the Legally Speaking podcast on WTMJ.com.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes senior living at Three Pillars so special?
The welcomeness. People are so friendly. If you have a problem, you can go to anybody.
The community and the sense of safety provided for my mom and dad, and it's just like the most wonderful place to be.
They're just delightful, everyone. I don't see staff, I see friends. Oh. And I really do feel that.
And you couldn't live in more beautiful grounds.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
Well, how did you spend your summer vacation? Trip up north, maybe knock out one of the beautiful national parks, or maybe follow Dad around the country in an RV as he attempted to raise $1 million for the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
My name's Brady McDonald. What's your name?
Lexi McDonald. Kylie McDonald.
And Mama Bear Christy McDonald.
All right, everybody, meet the McDonalds. Brady is an ultra-marathoner who is just past the halfway mark of his quest.
Where I will be running 50K.
50 states!
In how many days?
50 days!
Yes, that is true. We have told a few of our friends, and most of them are saying, is that even possible? Is it even possible that you can run 50K, 31 miles in all 50 states in 50 days? Well, stay tuned because we are going to find out.
50K, 50 states in 50 days. So if you want to do the math here, 50K is like 31 miles. So that is more than a marathon a day for 50 straight days.
So I love the backstory behind this, though.
Incredible.
About his wife. And
Yes.
his wife losing her arm at the age of 15 because she was run over by a boat. And back then, the Make-A-Wish Foundation granted her a wish. And now this family is hoping to return that wish just times 100, basically.
With a goal of raising $1 million. And their assessment is that each wish costs about $10,000. So right now they're at about $535,000 raised. So they're on their way toward $1 million. So they're being able to fund here over 50 wishes here from the Make-A-Wish contingent of children. So the goal is to raise $1 million, and the money will be used to grant those incredible wishes to those incredible kids.
We're going to be starting in Florida and literally hitting every state a different day, running 50K, and it's going to be a giant family adventure.
Well, so how do you make it a family adventure while Dad is running? Mom and children and dog are behind in an RV. Yeah, there you go, a summer road trip. So according to the website, daughter Kylie is the Chaos Committee Captain.
Great name.
Daughter Lexi is the wild card. And Sonny the dog is the Chief Morale Officer. And they're literally following Dad, moving ahead maybe 20 or 30 miles to where he will eventually join them. They find a place to stay where they can park the RV, and then they're on to the next state and the next city later that day.
Okay, so I'm looking. They have not arrived in Wisconsin.
No, they did.
Oh, they did?
Wisconsin is off the list. So Brady ran a 50K in the Madison area on August 18th.
Oh, it's just not up on their YouTube page yet, I guess.
So today is day number 31, and they're in Montana. They do have a website for this, and that might be more up-to-date than their YouTube channel. But you're right. They are creating daily YouTube features that pop
you're
up.
right. They're probably putting the YouTube up when they get a chance. But this is pretty cool, though, to see like the running in the different cities where they go. This is really neat.
It's an amazing idea, and he is over 30 days into accomplishing the feat, which is unbelievable. I am a runner. I have never run a marathon. I've never felt compelled to run a marathon. The half marathon was plenty enough for me. And look, you run one marathon, and anybody who's run a marathon knows this. You're at risk of losing a toenail. You're at risk of losing other parts of your body that normally you'd like to have stay attached. There's just nothing easy about running a single marathon, much less 50 in 50 days.
Yeah, he says it's not about the miles, it's not about the states, it's just about the hundreds of lives that we're trying to help. And I love this, the youngest daughter. How's Dad doing? The quote from her is, super good.
Yeah.
Super good. Dad's doing
super good. Well, Brady is going to finish up in Hawaii, which makes sense, and I'm not sure what they're going to do with the RV at that point, but likely a flight will be incorporated. And it looks like a couple of flights have been a part of his overall travels. But by the time it's all said and done, 1,553 miles will be run in 50 days. And I love this. 100% of the donations go to Make-A-Wish America.
0 to 100wishes.com. That's his website.
Best of luck to Brady and family on the road here. It's 151.
Good Karma Sports is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with Good Karma Sports, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmasports.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmasports.com.
Hey, Greg Matzik here. For 70 years, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in the state of Wisconsin. If you've got a busted garage door or opener, don't worry. Give my friends at Geis a call today. Incredible brands like CHI and LiftMaster. Doors and openers for every budget. They'll even build custom designs. Whatever it is to meet your exact needs, you can rely on Geis for swift and reliable garage repair solutions. Begin the process at geisdoors.com or visit their showroom. It's in Brookfield, featuring hundreds of doors and openers. Got that custom design room, everything you need, all there in one place. It's Geis. Don't think twice. Visit geisdoors.com.
Summer is the time to enjoy the outside. Enjoy the deck, the patio, the fire pit, the shade, the screen room, the in-ground pool. Enjoy all of it in your own backyard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's top TimberTech decking installer and can deliver a design and build your next maintenance-free deck with a custom screen room and automated pergola. Stop by our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha or visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Want to stay up to date with the crew?
Chopper to third. Double play ball. Muncy goes to second one. On to first. Double play.
Tune in to Brewers Extra Innings with Dominic Cotroneo after every game.
For William, I don't know if what's best for him is sitting on the bench and watching the game, because at the same time that you want to get as much production as possible, you also need to get William Contreras going.
Or listen anytime on the Brewers All Access podcast feed. We are your home of the Brewers. WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
It's a mystery that almost seems like it's straight out of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Remember that? Did you love that as a kid?
Turtles in a half shell.
Turtle Power. Yeah. And then they had the reporter, too.
Oh, yeah. No, I had the complete action figure set. I watched the cartoon. I was big on Donatello.
Oh, Michelangelo. Loved it. Well, this does kind of sound like it's straight out of there. You have people spotted emerging from manholes in various parts of New York City. I remember this was happening a couple months ago because I thought, how creepy is that? Can you imagine if you were just driving by or you're walking on a city street and all of a sudden somebody pops out of a manhole?
No, I don't think I would like that very much.
So then I really hadn't heard much about it, but it's still happening. I think there was a little lull, but it's happening again. And in this latest incident, a video posted to social media captures 3 people coming out of a manhole right near New York's Penn Station. Similar incidents were also reported in Brooklyn and Queens.
These could be urban scavengers looking for valuables, but the city says sewers can contain numerous hazards, including noxious and potentially deadly gases, unstable surfaces, flooding risks, and confined spaces.
Yeah, this is dangerous, but hold on. You want a visual, don't you? Listen to this.
3 people in overalls emerging one by one, each wearing what appears to be a headlamp. Back in June, a group of men with flashlights and waders pried open a manhole cover in Queens, then slipped into the sewer. And 7 guys, some with headlamps and shovels, did the same thing in Brooklyn, dropping in one by one. And then they were climbing out of the sewer, one of them nearly run over by a car.
Hey, look, traffic is bad in New York City. You want to find a way to get someplace and do it more expeditiously. Sometimes the subway can be a little dangerous.
Oh, you think they're popping in the manhole?
Yes, right. You walk into to try and get to Little Italy, right, and enjoy a nice little Italian meal. The headlamps make sense. It's dark down there, and if the manhole cover is too heavy, well, you can always seek assistance from a jumbo-sized sewer rat.
Gross. Urban scavengers, though, that's become a thing. And we do have at least one in Milwaukee. He's not going down into manholes, at least not yet, that I know of. But he has gone onto some spots. I know he went on top of a crane at one point. I tried to get him on the show, and I know he was going to court for it. So I said, hey, listen, I don't know if this is something you'll talk about yet, but he had been caught in some capacity.
Yeah.
So I thought he might be interested in telling us why he's doing it. I'll have to reach back out to him because he did write me something that was a little, maybe creepy's not really the right word, but I think he said something like, stay tuned. Like he wrote me back.
Ominous there,
He responded, but didn't say, yeah, I'll be on the show on Monday.
Was that Scafidi? We see him every day. He's not really talked about it much.
No, but now I just got a visual of Scafidi popping out of manhole.
Yeah.
Wearing overalls and a headlamp.
It is kind of a bizarre story. I get it. Hopefully they're not just playing some Pokemon Go, which I think is sort of back. See people staring at their phone, walking aimlessly through downtown areas, and they're likely playing the Pokemon.
Back again?
Well, I think it is. It feels like Pokemon's had a bit of a resurgence. So, nonetheless, yes, fascinated by that, and I would be absolutely creeped out if somebody just popped out of a manhole cover in New York City as I was walking by. It's 1:57, Wisconsin's Midday News podcast built by Siding Unlimited. That is Siding and a whole lot more. Wherever you get your podcast, you can subscribe and find us. Also, a reminder that we're on YouTube each and every day. All of our programming here on WTMJ can be found on our YouTube page, including Wisconsin's Midday News.
You already know that Kessler's is the world's largest employee-owned group of jewelry stores.
We were recently told that Kessler's is the fastest growing group of jewelry stores in America.
Well, it just goes to show you.
Show you what?
That people like to feel good.
What do you mean?
Rick, you know how many people will drop by and look in the showcases and have some coffee and chat with their sales associates?
Yes.
That doesn't happen at other stores.
Really?
People come to Kessler's because it brightens their day.
It makes them feel good.
It certainly makes me feel good.
Tell me why.
Well, everyone's always in a good mood. And everything is clean and sparkling and romantic and happy.
It feels like sunshine and rainbows, doesn't it?
Sarah, that's exactly what it feels like.
When you're having a gray day, come to Kessler's.
Have some coffee and let us clean your jewelry.
Our jewelry cleaning equipment is completely different than what you have at home.
And we're delighted to do it for free, of course.
Welcome to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
The stories you're talking about on Wisconsin's Morning News.
As we saw in the last election, polls don't vote. Ultimately, people vote, and that's the only poll that really counts in the end. And we have to remember this about polls. It's a snapshot in time. Just because someone answered 3-4 weeks before an election, I'm likely to vote for this person, doesn't mean that in the 3-4 weeks later, that voter changed his or her mind. And that doesn't mean that the poll was wrong then. It was maybe right at the time.
Only here on WTMJ.
Have you been living with pain and just assuming it's something you have to just live with and accept? Do not. I'm Julia Fellow with WTMJ. If chronic pain is keeping you from enjoying life, I want you to head to Jens Family Chiropractic in Germantown. Jens Family Chiropractic is now offering soft wave tissue regeneration therapy. It's an advanced, non-invasive treatment. It helps your body repair itself naturally. I'm getting that done on my lower back. Soft wave stimulates healing, improves blood flow, and activates your own body's repair cells to target pain at its source. If you're dealing with knee pain, shoulder pain, back pain, do not wait another day. For a limited time, your first Softwave treatment is just $57. This is an incredible opportunity to find out if this breakthrough therapy can help you get back to the things you love, like it did for me. Head to jensfamilychiropractic.com. That's YENTZ familychiropractic.com. Regenerate, recover, live pain-free at jensfamilychiropractic.com.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 2 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Monday, August 24th. Your top story, opposing another proposed rate hike from We Energies.
I'm Jessica Ty. A student athlete dies in western Wisconsin.
Sunny today, beautiful conditions, high 75 degrees, clear tonight, low 58. Partly cloudy on Tuesday, slight chance of evening rain and a high of 80. Better chance of rain appears to be on Wednesday with a high of 86. 75 and sunny in Milwaukee at 2 o'clock. From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, another proposed rate increase by We Energies drawing opposition from a community and environmental groups.
Wisconsin conservation voters held a news conference outside the utilities Milwaukee office, arguing customers cannot afford another increase.
This time, another 14%. The skyrocketing cost of living is out of control.
We Energies is seeking higher electric and natural gas rates for 2027 and 28, saying the money is needed for infrastructure, renewable energy, and reliability projects. We Energy spokesperson Brendan Conway.
The money that we're asking for to be part of rates is mainly part of projects that have already been approved and built.
In downtown Milwaukee, Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
The Public Service Commission is reviewing the request and is expected to make a final ruling later this year.
A teenager accused of hitting a police officer with his car on Water Street will go to trial.
Hunter Meyer of Rothschild faces a long list of felony charges, including recklessly endangering safety and hit and run causing injury. The charges stem from a 4th of July weekend of gunfire on Water Street as police responded to gunshots coming from a parking lot where Meyer was allegedly driving in circles. Prosecutors say Meyer ignored commands to get out of the car and struck an officer as he fled the scene, eventually crashing into another car. He's set to be arraigned next month. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
A Western Wisconsin high school football player dies after suffering an injury during a game.
Adam Massman was entering his senior year at Alma Center Lincoln High School. The district says Massman was injured during the game against Turtle Lake, received medical treatment from EMTs at the scene, and was taken to a hospital. The district learned of his death Saturday afternoon. School officials say Massman was active in sports, clubs, and other activities and had strong connections throughout the school community. Counselors have been made available to students and families following his death. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
4 years after Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the war continues. News Nation's Marta Hughes.
Today, new back and forth attacks are taking place. Officials in Odessa, Ukraine, say a Russian strike injured at least 4 people. Food storage and energy sites were hit, as well as private homes. In Russia, a children's rights advocate says 3 teens were killed and 6 other children wounded in a drone attack in the south. Debris fell on a children's center and a 5-story apartment was also damaged. Russia says its air defenses intercepted and destroyed more than 350 drones overnight.
Today is the 35th anniversary of Ukraine's independence from the Soviet Union.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent announces new economic actions against Iran, targeted countries that do businesses with Iran.
Iran now faces a very clear choice with only 2 paths before them: complete global isolation and a subsistence economy, or a path back to normalcy with an opportunity to rejoin the global economy.
Iran's currency hit a record low as the new sanctions were announced. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow remains in the green here, up 150 points at 53,425. NASDAQ down about 150 at 26,027. And the S&P down just 17 points today at 76.57. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
Oh, brother. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:04.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-838-6767. 800-838-6767. 800-838-6767.
Just doing some roofing on another lovely Wisconsin day. No gimmicks, no shortcuts, it's just roofing done the old-fashioned way. Do you need shingles? Let's mingle. For a Wisconsin tradition never dwindles. So raise a glass, shake a hand for this old-fashioned brand. Whoop, that's old-fashioned roofing.
We opened our store in July 31st of 93. A year later, in August of 94, we sold a lot of furniture that month. I'm like, wow, we make money at that level.
Ben and Arvid from Penny Mustard Furnishings.
Of course, we didn't have any employees yet, and so it was easy for us to make money at that level.
You said it was easy to make things work when it was just us two. Only from a profit and loss standpoint.
Yes.
But from a work standpoint, it was 7 days a week. We were doing deliveries on Sunday mornings sometimes.
We didn't have any expenses.
Yeah, but we didn't have a life either.
PennyMustard.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. The Packers host the Cardinals this week for joint practices in advance of Friday's preseason finale at Lambeau. Cardinals are led by first-year head coach Mike LaFleur, Matt's brother.
Yeah, he is quick to criticize everything that I put on the schedule. So he's like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? We never do this. And I was like, all right, Mike, you got all the answers. So no, it's been healthy. It's been good. So there's been give and take on both sides for sure.
Packers must trim the roster to 53 by 3 o'clock the afternoon of August 30th. The Brewers, meanwhile, enjoy a day off after taking 2 of 3 against the first-place Braves. Milwaukee begins the day with a 6-game lead over the Cubs for first place in the division. Brewers begin a 3-game series against the Mets on Tuesday.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. I am looking at progress right now. That broken down vehicle on the ramp from Moreland Road to I-94 West. There is a tow truck at the scene as we speak. The crews are working to get that SUV on the tow truck and out of there. The good news is traffic is moving pretty freely right around it. That's out in Waukesha County. We still have a disabled vehicle, a broken down SUV on the ramp from Moreland Road to I-94 West, but I'd say that will be gone in the next 10 minutes or so. Other than that, we're doing okay for the most part, just seeing slowing in our typical construction zones, mostly today on 94 eastbound and westbound around American Family Field.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Brave Americans who served shouldn't be denied benefits or have a disability claim incorrectly evaluated by the VA. If you're one of those vets, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Beautiful day today. High 75 degrees, plenty of sunshine, just a little bit of clouds. Skies should be clear tonight with a low of 54. Tomorrow, up to 82, chance of rain late. Better chance of rain on Wednesday with a high of 86. Some mugginess as well. Thursday and Friday, back end of the week, look perfect. It's 75 and sunny in Milwaukee at 208.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
So I had to do a double take the other day. I was on X kind of scrolling through the feed and getting some up-to-date Packers news, and I saw a headline from a national writer who covers the NFL that says, LaFleur confirms high ankle sprain for Love. And I thought, whoa, what did I miss here? Well, it turns out the Arizona Cardinals, who are coached by Mike LaFleur, have a rookie running back named Jeremiah Love. who does indeed have a bit of an ankle injury that he's dealing with here in his rookie season of training camp. So if you see LaFleur and Love together, you need to clarify, is this the Arizona Cardinals or is it the Green Bay Packers? Do your digging. Don't be freaked out like me.
Now that you say that, I think I saw a tweet from Wildy, too, who said, I'm going to have to start paying more attention to these because of that. I actually thought when you brought up LaFleur, our LaFleur, that you were going to talk about, I had heard on my way home from Door County last night, something about him and his wife starting something called Dogtopia. And I thought, what is this? This is fascinating. And his wife was involved. I thought it'd be great to get his wife on the show. Well, all of a sudden, I started doing a little digging this morning, and I'm like, I think that is bogus. Yeah. I don't think there's anything to this. I will look a little bit more when the show is done, but I think that was something that somebody just put out on social media, and then people ran with it.
Yeah, the LaFleurs and the Loves. You got to be cautious if you're digging around social media in the NFL.
Here's your top 2 at 2 on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, the Secretary of War has arrived in Wisconsin. Pete Hegseth flew into Whitman Regional Airport within the last hour here. The Pentagon's top official is visiting Oshkosh Corporation as part of his nationwide Arsenal of Freedom tour. Hegseth is speaking with workers and company leaders about the role American manufacturing plays in national security. We're told the message today is, the U.S. needs to rebuild its defense industrial base by doing a handful of things, by cutting red tape, speeding up acquisition, and encouraging more innovation from commercial manufacturers. Today's Oshkosh visit comes as the company continues producing specialized vehicles and equipment for the U.S. military. Hegseth says the nation's military strength and global peace depend on the ability of the American workforce to deliver.
Well, number 2, the mother of actress Hayden Panettiere speaking out in an exclusive interview with ABC News. Panettiere died earlier this month at the age of just 36 in an apartment in South Carolina. Leslie Vogel says she's still processing everything that's happened and says Hayden is the second of her children that she has lost. The first, her son, Jansen, died in 2023 at the age of 28.
You just have to find that inner strength. I have been knocked down throughout my life, and I'm not complaining because I have the strength to get back up. And that really is, it's not if we fall, it's how we get back up.
The investigation into Panettiere's death is ongoing in Greenville, South Carolina, as authorities await final toxicology and autopsy results. So that's all pending right now. Meanwhile, somebody who was supposed to be at the apartment, her on-again, off-again boyfriend, apparently they had a bit of a contentious relationship. So that is also being investigated here by local authorities. It is 2:12 here on WTMJ.
Get your final August plans in for Brewers Rangers Action Friday, August 28th through Sunday the 30th. Starting with the Cole Swindell post-game concert at Country Music Night on Friday, featuring a belt buckle with a special ticket. Then it's Jackson Churio Mania. Get the Churio Bowl giveaway Saturday, courtesy of 620 WTMJ. And get it on the Final Kids Cheer Free Sunday before summer ends. Kids get a Churio Height poster on Sunday, courtesy of Joy. Get tickets for it all at brewers.com.
Well, what makes me happy over the weekend? Pressure washing. That's right. Loved it. Loved every second of it. And I was pressure washing the patio, some of that beautiful land and stone that we have incorporated. Thanks to our friends at Siding Unlimited and Outdoor Living Unlimited. They installed that patio going on 9 years ago. Pretty amazing stuff. We're out there all of the time when the weather allows it. In the fall, the summer, in the spring. We don't do a lot out there in winter, but nonetheless, we look forward to it each and every year. Was happy to do some of the cleanup. The installation, incredible. The time spent on the design, also meticulous. They did it. The final product looks like the 3D rendering, which is pretty amazing stuff. Siding Unlimited will do a number of things to help benefit your exterior of your home. So talking about roofing, doors, windows, siding, expanding your outdoor living space like they did for us. You name it, they can do it for you. Bring some thoughts and ideas out to them if you'd like. Showroom is located in Brookfield, 665 Larry Court, or have them come to you. Siding Unlimited is truly siding and a whole lot more. Eric and Aaron Brown, the brothers that run Siding Unlimited, have run an incredible business, and they're consistently acknowledged for their incredible installation of high-quality products. Why would you go anywhere else here? Go to the folks I trust. Visit sidingunlimited.com.
The stories you're talking about on Wisconsin's Morning News.
As we saw in the last election, polls don't vote. Ultimately, people vote, and that's the only poll that really counts in the end. And we have to remember this about polls. It's a snapshot in time. Just because someone answered 3-4 weeks before an election, I'm likely to vote for this person, doesn't mean that in the 3-4 weeks later, that voter changed his or her mind. And that doesn't mean that the poll was wrong then. It was maybe right at the time.
Only here on WTMJ.
Plenty of sunshine today and a high of 75 degrees. Beautiful day. Clear tonight, a low of 55. Partly cloudy, slight chance of evening rain on Tuesday. Most of the day is dry. Most of us stay dry. High of 80 degrees. A little more humidity in the forecast on Wednesday. Chance of showers becomes more significant with a high of 83. Sunny on Thursday, sunny on Friday. 80 the high on Thursday, 77 on Friday. Should be a great back end of the work week. 75 right now and sunny in Milwaukee, approaching 215. Well, the bid for a new trial denied. The Texas judge officially rejecting Carmelo Anthony's request for the 2025 murder of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf. So back in June, a jury found Anthony guilty of murdering Metcalf at a high school track meet in 2025. Very high-profile case. He was sentenced to 35 years in prison. We welcome at ABC's Jim Ryan covering the story. So, Jim, why did Anthony's defense team want a new trial to begin with?
Well, I think every attorney wants to see that for his or her client. They want to see that person walk free. And if this new trial had been granted, Anthony would leave prison. And that's not the case, though. The judge decided, no, you don't get a new trial. Anthony stays in prison. But that doesn't exhaust the appeals process. The attorneys now intend to file an appeal. That's different from a new trial, of course. The judge or judges in that appeal will hear much of the same evidence, but it's not a new trial. And Anthony stays in prison to serve out his 35-year term in the meantime.
The defense argued Anthony's decision not to testify was influenced by the so-called gentleman's agreement over what evidence could come into the trial. Why did the judge reject that argument, Jim?
Well, I think that they had a lot to look at. The judge in this case, in the request for a new trial, it would have been really unusual for that judge to overturn the whole thing and say it's time for a new trial. We're going to have to do this. So it may just be a matter of statistics. That judge didn't want to be the one who said, out of the 1,000 or so to say, yeah, let's go ahead and have a new trial. So, but at the same time, I don't think the judge just saw enough evidence there to grant a new trial. This was based largely on a complaint from the defense attorneys that the judge made some inappropriate comments after the trial was over. Inappropriate in their words. The judge, John Roach Jr., was asked during an interview if he felt like the jury got it right. And he says, I think the jury did get it right. What a jury does stands, and he was going to side with that. He was also asked about Carmelo Anthony. The judge said, I think he's a very nice kid who made a big mistake that day. So based on those comments and this so-called gentleman's agreement about what could and couldn't be heard by the jury, I think the defense felt they had a good case for a new trial. The judge in this case, who, by the way, is not Roach, disagreed.
So John Roach is kicked off the case, right? So then who enters the case, and how quickly did that person make a decision in this latest ruling?
Well, it came after about an hour's worth of testimony on Friday. So it was at the end of the week. The decision came on Saturday. District Judge John Roach was recused right before the decision was made on a new trial. And by the way, the judge who heard that was the one from San Antonio, Judge Sid Harrell, who, if the name sounds familiar, it's because he's been hearing cases related to the Uvalde school shooting, cases related to police officers accused of mishandling that. But so Harrell was brought up to hear this case regarding Carmelo Anthony.
Big development here, Jim. What are we hearing from the Metcalf family?
Well, I think that they're satisfied. They and the prosecutors and the Austin Metcalf family, speaking through their attorneys, say that they're satisfied that the jury did make the right decision. Now, Austin Metcalf was 17 years old. Carmelo Anthony also was 17. The two of them from rival schools in Frisco, Texas, north of Dallas. They were at a track meet. It was raining. Carmelo Anthony got under a shelter, a canvas tent that the other school had, and that's when these two first got into an argument. Austin Metcalf is said to have put hands on Anthony. Anthony responded by pulling a knife and stabbing him.
Jim, so how does this work from the appeals standpoint? Does the higher appeals court ever look at new evidence that could be entered into this discussion, or do they only review what has happened in the original courtroom with the original sentence?
Well, there could be new evidence. If something new is discovered or some new witness comes forward, then the appeals process could take that into account. But barring that, I mean, there's a mountain of evidence related to the previous trial that came out of this that undoubtedly will be heard. Now, in the appeal, will the two sides have this agreement, this gentleman's agreement, that the prior history of either the stabber or the person, the victim, that it won't come into testimony? That isn't clear yet. And in fact, the appeals court hasn't even agreed to hear this case, so it may or may not.
ABC's Jim Ryan reporting. We appreciate it, Jim. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Greg. See you, Jessica.
Enjoy life at Capri Communities, where senior living's our expertise. Caring staff that help you when you need. Enjoy life at Capri, making friends and memories. Living life to the fullest, you will love your new home.
Well, when the Brewers return home and for the rest of the season, anytime there's a home game, you can take advantage of the shuttle that'll take you from Potawatomi Casino Hotel right to American Family Field. You want to talk about front door service? You got it with Potawatomi. Just hop into the sports book, make a same-day wager, get a bite to eat perhaps, and get that wristband aboard the shuttle. That shuttle departs from the annex, which is right next to the sports book. About an hour before game time, it'll take you off to American Family Field. Why worry about parking and all that kind of hassle? No, let somebody else do the driving and let the folks be Potawatomi. They'll do it for you. They'll bring you back to Potawatomi following the game. You want to hang out and watch the game? Do it at the Sportsbook. No better place to watch sports than Potawatomi Sportsbook, where they have got the games on each and every day, day and night. That 2,000 square foot video wall absolutely pops. There is nothing like it. No better place to watch sports here in the state of Wisconsin than at Potawatomi. Connect with the folks at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Stop in. Must be 21 years or older to play.
Is your life stuck in constant stress mode? Headaches, poor sleep, constant tension. Vince Vitrano for Connect Chiropractic, my team that can help, not just mask symptoms, but find the root cause. Connect Chiro specializes in neurologically focused chiropractic care, helping your nervous system function the way it's designed so your body can heal, adapt, and perform at its best. Helping our community live healthier, more energized lives. Go ConnectChiro.com.
Streaming services, retail chains, and tech giants are all adding plus to their names. It's fairly obvious they were inspired by Hasseless mattress. Hasseless showrooms are employee-free, plus unbeatable prices on Tempur-Pedic, plus free next-day delivery, plus 60-month interest-free financing on select Tempur-Pedic with approved credit, plus a $300 MasterCard gift card with your Tempur-Pedic mattress. Maybe we should change our name to Hasseless Plus. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasseless.com.
The United States Postal Service has released a new rule adding verification requirements to all mail-in ballots. Under this proposed change, states would be required to collect and report basic voter information. So say your name and your home address, and then attach all of that to a unique barcode on every mail-in ballot that goes out. Here's ABC's Stephen Portnoy on the Start Here podcast.
This particular rule is hung up in the courts. A panel of the Boston-based First Circuit Appeals Court ruled 2-1 in July that the administration couldn't move forward with this particular plan because of the idea that elections are controlled by the states. That ruling said the president's executive order, in this regard, imposes unprecedented levels of involvement by federal officials in how states administer elections.
So the United States Postal Service says the changes will occur immediately if given the go-ahead. So it's a little bit of a waiting game here.
So, and obviously understanding why something like this would go into place, right? The individual states and local jurisdictions, they kind of manage their own processes for requesting and processing and submitting those mail-in ballots. So now you've got something from a higher power that's going to dictate how things go. I guess for me, like, I just want consistency. And at the local level, at the national level, it feels like there should be a consistent process for how votes are tabulated, how they are sent in, when they can be sent in. It seems like a bit of a grab bag if you look at different rules in different states. I guess ultimately you want to make sure every vote that is cast is counted properly. You hear it all the time, right? Where amazingly votes were counted for people who have been deceased for years, right? Those stories have been around for years. I like some mechanism that just sort of authenticates each and every vote. I'm for that idea, just in the interest of a fair process and a universally consistent process.
Well, and something I do want to let people know as well, because I bet some people are wondering, is it just that information? I mentioned your name and your address, which, let's be honest, you can probably do a quick Google search and find that for most people, unless, of course, you have gone online and said, hey, I don't want that out there. You can also look up some records and find that. But there's no other voter information. So your birth date, that's not going to be attached to this barcode. Your social security number, that will certainly not be attached to it. No other voter registration details will be uploaded to the portal, which then, is connected to this barcode. It's just the name and it's just the address.
Have you ever voted absentee or done the mail-in? I've never done it before. I've never gone through the process. I wouldn't even know how to tell you that it works.
I feel like I did it once. Gosh, when was that though? And I don't know why I would have. I feel like we must have been on vacation or something, because I feel like I did it once, but I love to go in on the day. My husband's always like, why do you like to do that?
Yeah, I get it.
He's like, oh, he does absentee all the time because with his job, there's a good chance that he's gone. So he doesn't want to miss out on that. So he always does it, even if he ends up being here. And then you have to have a witness sign it. So usually I'm signing his and then off it goes. And it is an easy process.
There is something to be said about actually voting on Election Day, right? And I guess in our role, too, it's interesting to talk about what was like, right? Was it busy at your polling place? Was it not? Was there live music? Was it jazzed up in any way, right? You hear different stories, different times. I, too, like to vote on Election Day because I think it makes for a better discussion on this program, nonetheless. But I also think there's just a different sort of vibe. There's a different sort of energy.
There's some excitement, yes.
Yeah, right? I like to have the little sticker. Do you get an I voted sticker when you vote absentee? Does that come to you in the mail?
No.
Probably not.
You don't get one of those.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, I remember getting a sticker in Spanish, too. They were handing out Spanish stickers. Really? Something I noticed this time around that I haven't necessarily seen, and I often go at the same time because I usually go after work, and my polling place hasn't changed over the last few years, so I've been going to the same spot. When I went for the primary here in Wisconsin just a couple of weeks ago, I noticed more younger people at the polls, and they were actually registering for the first time, which is great. You love to see that. You want everybody who can vote to be voting and to giving their say. It did make for a little bit of a longer wait, but I didn't mind that at all. And to be honest, where I vote in downtown Milwaukee, it is, I've told you this before, it is so quick.
Yeah.
It is always so quick. It takes longer to go up the very, very slow elevator that you have to go to get up to the second or third floor. So I didn't mind seeing that at all. And for whatever reason, like the last half of the alphabet was there voting at the time. So do you have that? Is it at yours? Is it separated by that?
Yeah,
like
I think,
if you're A to whatever, you go in this line. If you're the end of the alphabet, you go in this line. And it seemed like nobody at the start of the alphabet was trying to vote when I was there. Just the other half. But I didn't mind. I don't mind waiting because it's important.
It is 2:27 here on WTMJ, Wisconsin's Midday News podcast built by Siding Unlimited. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Are you looking for a welcoming place to unwind? Vince Vitrano here. Our family found a home at Racine Country Club. Premier golf on the historic championship course, rolling terrain, famously fast greens, tight fairways, and scenic Root River views. Work your game year-round with indoor simulators, hitting bays, top-notch practice facilities, and leagues for every level. Plus, at Racine Country Club, you enjoy elevated dining, swimming, and a full calendar of family-friendly events. Join me on the course at Racine Country Club, racinecountryclub.com.
Hey, sounds good, Vinny. Still waiting for that invite. Helping people and families seriously injured in accidents and standing up for victims to take the burden off your shoulders. Greg Matzik here for Gruber Law Offices. Rely on the team at Gruber to help you out. If you've been hurt in an accident, it's Gruber all the way. They focus on the legal aspect while you focus on healing, which is what you deserve to be doing if you've been hurt in an accident. And with Gruber, there is no fee or cost to call, no cost to consult or retain their firm. Never a fee with Gruber until they win your case. It's what they do and what they've been doing for 40 years as one of the largest personal injury firms in the Midwest. They also find ways to give back each and every year, supporting incredible community initiatives year in and year out. Every month of the calendar, gruber-law.com. Learn about the firm, learn what they do in the community, and make a call if you've been hurt in an accident to 414-276-6666.
Bring us your problems, deadlines, complexities, anxieties, distractions, and budget distresses.
Plum Media is listening.
Share with us your creative block.
Plum Media is ready.
Give us your audience with limited time and attention.
Plum Media sets your message free.
Let's get your message heard. Let's strive for retention from beginning to completion. Whether your next event is for celebration, education, motivation, inspiration, Plum Media is waiting to take action.
Professional collaborators, planners, managers. Plum Media, video production and event management.
Plum Media, wow moments, flawless execution, clarity, calm, control.
And results.
Plum Media, a video, meetings, and event producer with global experience. PlumMedia.com.
It's 2:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Monday, August 24th. Your top story, a missed deadline could mean owing money to the city of Milwaukee.
I'm Jessica Ty, offering a faster path to get that college degree.
Sunny skies, high 75 degrees, mostly clear tonight, low 55. Partly cloudy, slight chance of evening rain on Tuesday with a high of 80.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The U.S. says it will impose sanctions on countries and financial institutions continuing to do business with Iran. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says the U.S. is trying to put a chokehold on Iran's economy. ABC's Karen Travers says there's no timeline, though, on the sanctions.
He said that this is really a threat right at this point. The Treasury Department had announced that countries will be given a timeline, a defined timeline, to shut down Iran-related activity that the administration has identified and said if they fail to act, Treasury will act, but we don't have the details of what that timeline is. That has not been released publicly.
In response to the U.S. 50% tariffs placed on Canadian imports, Canada says it will oppose tariffs on U.S. goods starting in September. President Trump also threatening to double tariffs, he says, in January. In Nevada, evacuations continuing northwest of Reno, where crews are battling the Hawk Fire. It broke out over the weekend. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 2:31. A now former employee of the Milwaukee City Attorney's Office could cost the city more than $830,000 after missing a court deadline.
In a lawsuit filed against the city by Regal Rexnord, the manufacturing company challenged the value of and property taxes on its downtown headquarters. After City Attorney's Office employee Kyle Bailey failed to answer a summons, which he claimed, according to court documents, was due to office tech issues, a judge ruled in favor of Regal Rexnord in July, ordering the city to pay. Bailey has since resigned from the city Attorney's Office, which is declining to comment. The case remains open with a motion hearing set for August 28th. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
A man from Milwaukee who wanted to pay off a $40,000 debt is now charged with robbing a Tosa bank.
33-year-old Ryan Ashford is charged with robbery of a financial institution in connection with the August 15th robbery at a PNC bank. According to the criminal complaint, Ashford demanded $400,000 but became frustrated and told the teller, quote, "Give me everything you have." He left with $1,100. Police later found 3 handwritten notes and a mission checklist for a planned Chicago bank robbery at his home. Ashford admitted to the robbery and planned to leave the country, also mentioning an escape to Colombia and California. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
As Wisconsin college students head back to campus, some could soon have a faster path to a bachelor's degree.
Reduced credit 3-year degrees are gaining popularity nationwide, and Wisconsin is part of the trend. Mount Mary University in Milwaukee offers 3-year programs requiring about 95 credits, while UW Green Bay has launched a 100-credit option in computer science. The UW Board of Regents also opened the door for other state universities to develop similar programs. Supporters say students could save a year of tuition and enter the workforce sooner, though critics worry what students may lose by cutting a year of coursework. Classes across the UW system start next week. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Milwaukee Public Schools, the state's largest school district, is preparing for the school year by giving teachers the supplies they need. The MPS Foundation provided supplies for up to 1,000 teachers, and the teachers get to choose the materials they need. Kelly Limo is a teacher at Burbank Elementary.
I'm a first-year teacher, so I'm just starting out. I kind of have no basics yet, so I need to get to it. But this box is a very substantial box, so I'm excited to look through it. You need certain resources in order to learn.
That's awesome. That helps a lot. The first day of school for MPS is next Tuesday.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 2:34.
Bark and Scratch Outpost. We know you love your pets. They love you too, so don't forget. Your pets are happy when you take good care of them. Meow. Your pets are happy when you take good care of them. Come on down, you will see. We do it naturally. MilwaukeePetFood.com. Bark and Scratch Outpost.
Our friendly staff is available 7 days a week to show you a variety of high-quality, local, and national brand pet foods. Be sure to visit our freezer area for a large selection of diets and bones. Bark and Scratch Outpost, 5835 West Blue Mountain Road. Leashed pets are always welcome. At Bark and Scratch Outpost, we think outside the bag.
Come on down, you will see. We do it naturally. MilwaukeePetFood.com. Bark and Scratch Outpost.
Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin doesn't believe in games. They never inflate pricing, and there's no high-pressure sales pitch. Just premium windows and doors built for long-term comfort, beauty, and peace of mind. Buy direct through Pella, and one trusted team handles everything with Pella-certified installers every step of the way. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee and Waukesha. Griffin. The buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur doesn't want to see any fighting when the Cardinals come to town for joint practices this week.
If there's an issue, I'm going to tell the guys, hey, you come tag me in. They can tag in my brother, and we'll throw down on the 50.
LaFleur's brother Mike, in his first year, head coaching the Cardinals.
It's going to be pretty special. But at the end of the day, we're just looking to try to get good work, both sides. Prioritize the Green Bay Packers, but if there is another team in the National Football League that I'll be rooting for, it will be the Arizona Cardinals.
Teams wrap up the preseason Friday night at Lambeau Field. Brewers begin the day with a 6-game advantage over the Cubs for first place in the NL Central. No game for the Crew tonight. They are off, remaining out east after yesterday's loss to the Braves in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. A 3-game series against the Mets begins Tuesday night in New York.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic, and I like what I see. We don't have one crash, no disabled vehicles, no broken down vehicles either. We had a couple before, but those have cleared. I said it earlier, and it's really been the case throughout this afternoon. We have had some issues, but boom, just like that, they're cleared pretty quickly. That's what we like to see. That's fantastic. In fact, the only thing that we have, of course, we've got the delays in our construction zones, but that's nothing new, right? We have a disabled vehicle all the way up near Plymouth, Greg. That's the only thing I can find up in Sheboygan County. So I'm going to stop hunting. I'm not going to hunt for problems.
Okay.
We're looking good. I like it.
The weather definitely looking good here. High of 75 degrees today. Just beautiful conditions. Plenty of sun, low humidity, and an overnight low of 54 degrees. Tomorrow, a little mix of sun and clouds. Chance for rain late. High 80 degrees, slightly more humid. Wednesday, better chance of rain to the high of 85 degrees. Thursday and Friday look great. 80 on Thursday under sunny skies. Friday's high 77 with plenty of sun. It's 75 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 2:38. I'm absolutely gutted for the tight-knit town of Alma Center, Wisconsin, located not too far from Eau Claire, so up toward the border here of Wisconsin and Minnesota. Population of about 500, and this community is in mourning after the tragic death of Adam Massman. So a senior-to-be. He's a football player, multi-sport athlete, involved. You know, it's got an agricultural mind, beginning or about to begin what is supposed to be maybe the best year of schooling of your life.
You're
your
always
senior
looking
year
forward
in high
to that
school.
senior year and what's next. Yeah.
Right? And to kick things off, right? You're out in the field playing football against Turtle Creek. This game happened on Thursday night of last week, and Adam Massman was a senior-to-be, high school football player, multi-sport athlete, ended up passing away August 22nd from injuries sustained during that game. So on-site emergency technicians treated Massman at the field before he was rushed to a nearby hospital where he later died. I reached out to the superintendent of schools for clarity as much as anything else, because immediately you hear football, high school death, and you think it must have been some catastrophic hit or something like that, a spinal injury. And the fact of the matter is we don't know. And
It could be anything.
And I've not heard back from the school district, from the superintendent on this just yet. And I don't know what he can provide, to be perfectly honest, but I feel like sometimes in instances like this, there's just a message that you want to communicate to try and offer some clarity on what may have happened.
And sometimes, and we don't know, but sometimes too, you have a situation like this where there was maybe an undiagnosed heart issue. I've seen that. I remember one of my first days on the job, graduating after Indiana University. One of my first days on the job was in West Virginia, and it was covering a young football player who collapsed on the field and died from an undiagnosed heart condition. We don't know if that's the case, but like you mentioned, it could, people are wondering, was it a hit? Was it some condition that we didn't know about? We don't know yet, but it does look like the superintendent has a statement out that says that Adam was active in our Lincoln community, participating in multiple sports, clubs, and activities, making friends everywhere he went. Going on to say this loss touches our Lincoln family in many ways. Adam's family has deep connections throughout our schools, and he has many connections, Greg.
Yeah, pretty amazing here. So his mom, Brianne, is an elementary school counselor. One of Adam's siblings attends Lincoln Junior High School. His aunt and uncle, Nikki and Jake Prindle, teach at Lincoln Elementary School, and his uncle serves on the Lincoln School Board. So they are heavily intertwined between communities here at that school district. The school year has not yet begun. They'll begin on September 1st, but the district is opening doors today to school buildings to provide grief counseling services for students and staff and community members. I'd seen on social media that some of Adam's friends actually found a parking spot where he usually parks his Ford truck, and they painted over it LLA, Long Live Adam, had a big Ford emblem there, and some markings that speak back to his family's agriculture business. So a bit of a tribute here before school begins. There are so many people that I cannot get out of my mind after a situation like this, right? First and foremost, the family, the siblings, right? Anybody connected to that family, then his friends, the football players, his teammates. What if you're on the other team and you're the one involved in the play, right? There's just so many people that I cannot get out of my mind in a situation like this. This is a tight-knit community. This is roughly 500 people. Everybody knows each other, right? People there have been there, prideful, and sometimes events like this, like football, brings people together. And now I think, to maybe some respect, their season may be in question. How do you move forward like this? High school sports.
It's not. I hope this season is not, because sometimes you have the players, as horrendous and as terrible as a situation like this is, sometimes getting together and playing that game and being able to continue on in his name and win for him. Sometimes that's what these kids and these players need. So I hope that's not the case.
Yeah, no definitive statements from the school district on that or the athletic department. But I'm sure among the things up for discussion as they look for a way to move forward, this again, about a week or so from the school year actually beginning. So school is not yet in session. September 1st is when they start at Alma Center. But just an awful story. I hated to see this. There were some notes on social media Thursday and Friday about a horrific scene at a high school football game. And then the information became a little more clear over the weekend. Again, I did have a note out to the superintendent to provide some clarity, not necessarily as an interview guest or anything like that, but just, what can we share with our fans and listeners that is the truth? So to dispel any disinformation that might be circulating.
Condolences to Adam's family. It's going to be a tough start to the school year there.
It is 2:43 here on WTMJ. More Wisconsin's Midday News after this.
You've seen us around town, volunteering, supporting events, and showing up where it matters. At Waterstone Bank, we're more than a bank. We're your neighbor. The money you deposit stays local, helping small businesses, creating jobs, and supporting home ownership. It's banking from the community for the community. Visit your local branch or WSBOnline.com to see how we're building a stronger southeastern Wisconsin, one neighbor at a time. Waterstone Bank, member FDIC.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we know you do things your way. So why shop the same retail giants as everyone else when we have the products you need and trust at unbeatable prices? Right now, select Shepherd wheels, casters, and floor protection 15% off. 3M WorkTunes Bluetooth hearing protection $74.99. And save 10% on Thoroughbred welding cylinders and gas. Plus, Chick Days start Friday, August 28th with a variety of egg layers and meat birds. Find value for the work you do every day at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
It's Mike with Infinity Exteriors. I've seen it all, Wisconsin. Sketchy sales gimmicks for low-quality windows, siding that costs more than a new home, fly-by-night roofers. 60,000 happy customers made a better choice. Infinity Exteriors roofing, siding, and windows all come with our lifetime workmanship warranty, no overcharges, and transparent pricing. At Infinity Exteriors, we're on a mission to save our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow for Appliance Gallery, right on Wisconsin Avenue in Milwaukee. Their gorgeous showroom is the most up-to-date in our state, featuring luxury brands like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Miele, Fisher & Paykel, and more. They'll work right with your contractor or designer and make the process seamless. They even offer brands where you can choose from custom colors. As a small family-owned company with one location, they deliver impeccable service with a personal touch. Visit ApplianceGalleryWY.com or stop in today.
Meet Jim and Rita. We went on a motorcycle trip. But somewhere in Wyoming, Jim and Rita were in a serious accident. They blocked off the interstate and everything and took us to the hospital. Sometime later, Rita made a discovery. She had noticed that the bracelet was gone. And I asked the trooper, is there a chance we can go out there and see if it's still there? And amazingly, he found a couple of pieces.
It was only 2 tiny links of the bracelet.
Jim was determined to buy Rita another bracelet from Kessler's. And I had my checkbook in my hand. But when he arrived there, and I said, okay, how much? And she says, that's part of our warranty. Jim and Rita discovered the Kessler's miraculous no small print warranty. It's just amazing that you guys do this.
And it's true.
If you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed. It's just that simple.
It surely is miraculous.
Read the Kessler's miraculous no small print warranty yourself at Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
The historic Fox and Hound Supper Club near Holy Hill is hiring experienced line cooks and dishwashers. You'll make real money. Night and weekend hours are required. Parents and grandparents, tell your kids. Inquire today, start next week. Google and call the Fox and Hounds today.
Plenty of sunshine, comfortable temperatures, high 75 degrees today, overnight low 55 with clear skies. Tomorrow, a little warmer, high of 70, or I should say 80 degrees. Possibility of rain in the evening hours, better chance of rain on Wednesday with a high of 85. 75 and sunny in Milwaukee at 247.
During our first hour of Wisconsin's Midday News, we were talking with Tim Sheehy, who is the senior advisor to the MMAC, and about a couple of interesting topics, including one, would you turn down a promotion that would boost your salary? And a new study says many people would say no. I'll be honest, I was not surprised at all by the results. I think 10 years ago, the results may have been different, but I feel like I've heard from so many people right now who... You hear it time and time again. They want a better work-life balance, right? They don't necessarily care about a little bit of extra money. And in many cases, maybe it's not that much money. So they would rather have the lifestyle that they have now than take that bump up.
Flexibility is a word that we've used a lot when we talked about the job market here and what is important to job seekers and those who are in positions where they could be promoted from within, they want to hold on to flexibility, whether that means work from home, whether that means work-life balance, more opportunities to make sure the kids are where they need to be after school, right? That's something my wife and I wrestle with because more and more practices are starting at 4:30, and it becomes a bit of a trick. Or their day camp ends, and you've got a very specific time where you need to pick them up. It is a challenge. It is a challenge, especially with kids, but it's not exclusive to those with kids.
And the MMAC is talking with companies across Milwaukee, right? They're listening to many leaders. Here's Sheehy's take.
You know, the reasons are not as surprising to me as the number of people who say they would turn down a promotion. So the reasons make a lot of sense, right? If I have to respond to messages on the evenings or on weekends, no thank you. If it conflicts with my vacation, no thank you. And I don't want it to impact my work-life balance. So all those make good reasons for potentially turning down a promotion. What surprised me were the number of people who would say no. Almost 60% would say no if it meant they had to be available after hours. 62% said no if it impacts my work-life balance. And then more than half the people have reflected by saying, well, you know, I've seen other people take a promotion and they don't seem very happy. So no, thank you.
There were a lot of no thank yous in there, right? But here's the thing, and something that I noted too, I feel like the shift really happened around the pandemic. People started looking at their lives a little bit differently. But one of my concerns, and something I asked Tim about, is if people don't want management jobs, and if people are saying no thank you, who the heck is going to lead these companies in the future? Who's going to do it?
And I think you're spot on with kind of the impact that the pandemic had and giving more people a taste of remote work, not being in an office setting. And to that point, the survey said that between people between the ages of 18 and 34, 71.
Oh, the bike cut out a little bit there. We can try and re-rack it for you. But you raise a salient point here, right? If people are saying no to promotions, then well, how many people are left to be promoted?
Not being in an office setting. And to that point, the survey said that between people between the ages of 18 and 34, 71% of them were more likely to turn down a promotion, and 65% of those really didn't want to manage people. And so the pandemic, the remote work has certainly had an impact on that. But you also raise a good question is, you know, where is the future leadership coming? So very interesting to see. And I think it really puts the emphasis on companies needing to develop people, explain what goes on in the promotion. And then probably the most important thing is mentoring, getting people to feel comfortable about taking the promotion, what it's going to entail, and how they can manage that work-life balance.
Flexibility and pay, right? I mean, are these at the top of the list for job seekers? You got to wrestle with it a little bit, but you're right. The pandemic sort of brought this to light, the idea of flexible work time. You got to manage the home thing because your kids are at home, and how do you do schooling? The pandemic hit mid-school year, and now the kids are home for 3 months, and we got to figure out how to get from A to B, educate our children while also doing our jobs, right? So flexibility has remained a top priority here, and it almost seems to be number one along with benefits for those seeking a job. Within the job, right, you might have opportunities to move up, but some are looking at it like, yeah, I'm good for now. Let's maybe talk again in a few years. It doesn't mean it's permanent today, but the situation with the family may require it to be sort of scaled back for now.
Something that I've seen a theme of on social media, too, just people documenting their lives, are these high-powered people. And I guess I've seen it mostly with women. Now that might just be my algorithm. But high-powered women who had these big, intense jobs who are saying, you know what? I don't really need that anymore. I don't really care about the title. I don't really care about the money. I just want to do something that allows me to spend more time with my family or to travel or to do these other things. I still want to be doing something, but I don't really need what I needed before.
Yeah.
And I've seen that a lot on social media these days.
Yeah, interesting stuff here. Always good to check in with Tim Sheehy. He joins us every Monday. If you missed that full conversation, by the way, head to our podcast page. Siding Unlimited sponsors the Wisconsin's Midday News podcast page. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. We'll wrap up the program with some final thoughts after this.
988 Wisconsin Lifeline. How can I help you?
Share hope, find purpose when you become a 988 Lifeline counselor. The 988 Wisconsin Lifeline provides free and confidential support to anyone in crisis. 988 has experienced tremendous growth, and more statewide counselors are needed. Staffed by Family Services, 988 counselors work remotely, are offered competitive compensation, benefits, and training. Apply today at 988lifelinecounselor.org. Family Services is an equal opportunity employer.
Paid for by grants from SAMHSA and the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Hi, I'm Kirsten Hildebrand of Hildebrand Law Firm. Since 2001, we've proudly helped Milwaukee families and business owners protect what matters most. We combine the experience of a larger law firm with the personal attention you deserve. We take the time to listen, explain your options, and create a plan that's right for you. When the stakes are high, you need trusted legal advocates who will stand by your side every step of the way. Protect your family, your legacy, and your peace of mind. Visit hildebrandlawfirm.net to schedule a consultation today.
Every child in foster care deserves someone who believes in them. That's why La Causa is looking for more foster parents.
They never really checked on me, and that's why I appreciate La Causa tremendously, because they were the ones that showed me we care. I met my La Causa team, all brilliant people, and people that wanted to see me succeed.
That kind of care can change a life. Learn how you can become a foster parent with La Causa at lacausa.org.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
The headline reads, "A sucker born every minute. The man who duped tourists with a fake Greek amphitheater." Have you ever seen, you've been on, you like to travel a lot, right? So if you've gone or going to a place, maybe you've never been, you search for things to do. Where can we go? What can we do in this foreign country, this land I've never been to, right?
Well, and Greece does have amazing architecture, and they do have some amazing amphitheaters that are outside. But yeah, I guess you got to do your research.
One of the reviews says it's an enchanting place. Another review says it's a world beyond space and time. Definitely one of the best places I have ever been to. Unique on the planet, writes another visitor. And that last one was precedent because the theater being described in this review wasn't Greek, it wasn't even Roman as it was purported to be. The thing did exist, but a guy spent like $80 on just sort of refinishing the facing of a garage. And it had some trees and leaves around it, and it got people to show up and spend $46 on this quote-unquote self-guided tour, 40 euros for what it's worth, so roughly $46. Visit the theater that had been built from scratch by a guy. Well, now he's facing some legal issues, as you might expect. And people are saying, well, wait a minute, this was not what I anticipated. And the reviews, well, of course, they came from not real people. Perhaps it was a real person, but the guy who did the work maybe submitted those reviews as what they are finding. So buyer beware when you're doing that self-guided tour.
It's like a different version of the Fire Festival.
Yes. Jeez. 2:56 here on WTMJ. We are out of time in today's program. Back again tomorrow with a full program. Wisconsin's afternoon news is coming up in just a few minutes. A reminder, again, we are on YouTube here. So check out our podcast page at WTMJ.com. Check out our YouTube page. You can find us on YouTube each and every day. And John Mercure is back. You talk about a guy who likes to wash his produce. That's John Mercure. I see him. He's standing 10 feet away from me. He'll be in the seat coming up in about 4 minutes. Happy birthday to Gina, our producer. We're back again tomorrow.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Loziga. Nobody likes backups, not on I-94 and definitely not in your own backyard. That's why I'm so glad we called Comfort Awnings. Now our outdoors time isn't delayed by rain or the scorching afternoon sun. One touch of a button gives us instant shade and shelter while also protecting us from harmful UV rays. So instead of heading inside when it gets too hot or starts to rain, we can enjoy the patio for longer. Don't let any more of the summer pass you by. Right now, get $200 off any awning or screen. Call 414-Awnings or visit comfortawnings.com.
You should be listening to Wisconsin's Midday News with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty each weekday.
Former NFL star Jason Kelce stars in a sarcastic ad from Liquid Death and Garage Beer encouraging people to, you heard it, donate urine to AI data centers.
I'm familiar with holding the mayo. I'm not familiar with holding pee.
But if you missed us, catch up anytime with our Wisconsin's Midday News podcast. Powered by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more.
For 176 years, St. Vincent de Paul Society of Milwaukee has been neighbors helping neighbors, working to eliminate poverty and hunger with compassion and dignity. When families face hard times, our volunteers step in. Over 600 trained volunteers ready to meet people where they're at, in their homes. And that's what our Neighbors Helping Neighbors home visit program is all about. Volunteers travel in pairs, listening first, then